I was not expecting to do this.
Guys, it happened. I used a chapstick all the way up. I had to get a new one today. I feel like, do you believe in aliens shouldn't even be a question. Like, they literally do exist. Like, how could they not?
Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. And in today's pick a card, pick a deck, pick a crystal, whatever, reading, we will be asking the question, who is thinking about you and why? And what I mean by why, it's like, what are they thinking about you, if you will? And I don't know, you guys. Seriously, like, I need to stop because I just went out. I literally just got home and I was like, I'm pulling out tarot decks and I'm doing a reading right now. I'm making a video right now. I don't know what came over me. First of all, I ate literal junk. I ate McDonald's and I had Starbucks. Like, my intestine probably looks like a smoker's lung or something. Like, I swear, like, I'm going to like use the bathroom tomorrow morning and like toxic waste is just gonna come out of me. Why did I do that? You know, like why, you know? And in my head, in the moment, I was like, I'm grown, I have money and a car, I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter. Boys, stop. Okay. Anyways, we have 4 piles here today, as you can see. Okay, we have pile 1 with the 7 Spirit Tarot with this piece of Angel Aura. I don't even know what this thing's called. I always just call it Angel Aura or like Shadow Angel Aura. And none of you have corrected me, so I'm assuming that's what it's called. If not, don't say anything. And then we have pile 2 with the Rose Quartz and the Moon Void Tarot. This piece of Rose Quartz. Oh, you guys, I'm literally a mess right now. And then we have pile 3 with the Black Line Tarot and this piece of Citrine. And then we have pile 4 with the Tarot of the Divine and this piece of Labradorite. Can't really see it. There we go. Using the lamp. And yeah, by the way, if you hear any background noise, it's just like my roommates and stuff. Y'all know, but like, you know. Anyways, if you've already chosen your pile, you know, timestamps are in the description box below. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the way down there. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, see you at your reading. But if you like to sit and listen to me ramble for an extra however long, then hi. Oh my gosh, right now. Guys, I'm literally like a mess right now. Not like in a bad way, like I'm like a disaster, but more so like I'm so like all over the place. Like, it's, what time is it? You know, I just got a clock today. It's like 9. Actually, let me go get it. Let me go show you the clock. I had this clock a while ago, but then I had to like get it again. But do you see it? Isn't it so cute? So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to like do this thing where I get off my phone. And so basically like in the mornings, the first thing I would do is get on my phone, whether it be to check the time or to like see my texts and stuff like that. But like these past few mornings, I haven't been getting on my phone unless I am getting out of bed. Like I have gotten out of bed, thus I'll get on my phone. But I noticed that I would still have to look at a screen to check the time, and I didn't like that. And I remember when I lived in Kentucky, I had an alarm clock like the one I just showed you, and I was like, wow, this is a great way for me to like, you know, like get back on that, you know, like not look at a screen. And also just like the sound of the clock, like the ticking noise. Maybe some of you guys, it drives you crazy, but for me, it just like, I feel like it regulates me, you know, like I feel like it helps me like keep track of time better, or I feel like I feel more conscious of what I'm doing, you know. I don't know, when I hear clock ticking, I just feel like really relaxed. It feels like quiet, you know. I remember in my old house, we used to have like clocks all over the place because of my parents. And it was just so like relaxing just to like listen to the clocks tick, you know. I don't know, that's just me though. Probably not going to use that thing for alarm, even though it's like a really loud thing, you know, like it's the twin bell. Sorry, that's my roommate. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like I'm like in the midst of really uprooting my life and like swinging it around because I just like want to change things up. Like even with this video, like I feel like it's gonna be longer. I literally have like so many Oracle decks stacked up right next to me because I wanted to go all in with this video. And usually the only reason I don't post like super long videos or like you know, videos that are over like 2 hours long is because the way I upload my videos is through my iPad, and my iPad like can only do so much before it turns into a potato. So that's why like I'm usually limited to like readings that are maybe like 30 minutes, and that's probably how long this video is going to be, just because like sitting here for any longer per pile would probably like destroy me. But you know, in the future when I have a more adequate filming setup and like a more adequate like living situation that solicits me or allows me to kind of, you know, have more quiet, have more like space, because like literally like my filming setup is this box with this tripod thingy on it, and then it's holding my phone, and it's like here, this is the desk, and then the mic is right here, and it's sitting on a box because I noticed on the last video if I sit it right down on the desk, then like you can hear everything that I do to the desk, and I like didn't like that. I don't know, you guys, like I'm really finicky about these things, but if I put the mic where it used to be, then like it's too close to me and you can hear like my lips, and you can hear when I swallow spit and stuff. I remember someone commented about that, and like I was like, ugh, like I don't like that. I always knew about it, but like I was just kind of, I was low-key waiting for someone to call me out on it. And it happened, so I was like, oh my god, you guys, you know, another case of like, oh, it doesn't bother you guys, but for me it's like a big deal. Or maybe it bothers some of you guys apparently, but like some of you maybe just don't say anything. I don't know, but you know, I just like I've really been trying to regulate myself. I'm trying to limit my social media use even more. I've just kind of accepted the fact that screens are like really hard to avoid, or I'll always be looking, not always, but you know, like I'll be on a screen at some point. But I'd say that as of late, it's been a lot better than it used to be. I think my screen time is going to stay the same, honestly, but like the point is that like there won't be as many unproductive taps, you know, like check the time or stuff like that, you know, because like as like a really sensitive person and someone who's like easily overstimulated, it's just like when I get on like you guys know, but like, you know, for me, if I get on social media too much, or if I look at a screen for too much, then just like I just start getting really overwhelmed. I start feeling like I'm not doing enough, and I feel like when I step away from screens, I like regulate more, and I'm able to like be normal and be like, oh, like, you know, like I'm fine, you know, take things slower. I don't know, you guys. I don't know how this reading's gonna go, honestly, because like I don't know, I'm like really motivated. I'm really motivated. But I have a lot more. Oh, before I guess this is the last thing I'll tell you guys. I've been in the midst of collecting a ton of tarot decks. Like seriously, I just ordered 2 more. And as you guys know, like my situation improved, so I can like buy more decks. And also like there's actually decks that have been catching my eye. I ordered the Blue Earth Tarot and the Reclaim Oracle, which is a deck I've been wanting for a while now. And then there's like maybe like 3 or 4 more decks I want, and I really want to stockpile a bunch of like creepy or like cool decks for like Halloween and stuff like that. You might hear loud noise coming up, sorry, but I'm really hyped for Halloween. And honestly, like I haven't been doing that many like love readings, just because like, okay, I swear this will be the last thing. I don't really do love readings that much, just because I feel like everyone does them, and I feel like my audience, maybe like you guys, like some of you guys have like a particular aversion for it, because like I don't know, you guys, like I don't want to seem like a sellout, but like genuinely, like I really have been wanting to do love readings, and love readings are probably some of my favorites to do. But like sometimes I just like don't do them, you know, just because I don't want to like feed delusions or stuff like that. And I know it's like, oh, like create content that you want to create, but it's like I still really care about your guys' opinions, you know, and like at the end of the day, I just like pulling the cards. But lately I've been really gravitating towards love readings. I'm probably going to do a few more of them, and I'm probably going to continue to do them, and maybe try to like do them a little bit more often, honestly, just because I noticed that like you guys really like them, or like as of late they have been doing better, so I get the feeling that you guys like them. Or like, you know, like not saying that you guys don't like them. I don't know, you guys, like I'm literally like a disaster right now. Like my brain's like all over the place, can you tell?
Anyways, I'll see you at your reading. I love you. Thank you for listening. And if you want to listen to more of my rambles, or if you want to spend more time with me, I do have a ramble channel linked down below in the description box. Like, you don't have to subscribe or anything to it. It's just like if you want to like listen to a little bit more rambles, or if you like, you know. But yeah, see you at your reading. I love you. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the 7th Spirit Tarot and this piece of angel aura, or whatever you want to call it, then this is going to be your reading for who is thinking about you and why. Like, what are they thinking about you? So, I must say, I don't really have like a particular format for this reading. I literally just like pulled out a bunch of oracle decks and tarot decks. I was like, girl, let's go. So this reading is gonna be really like unstructured. So if it stresses you out, like, don't say anything. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I literally have so many oracle decks right here, and I feel like I like pulling them on camera with you guys just because I like the noise of the cards being shuffled. I like talking to you guys a little bit, you know. Oh wow, if I can shuffle correctly. Anyways, who is thinking about pile 1? Okay, first card, we have Great Mother. So whoever is thinking about you could be a woman or somebody. They could even be a mother, honestly. And I think I'm actually gonna pull out the guidebook just because I like kind of like the context that the guidebook presents. So yeah, and also just because it's fun, you know. I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, honestly, but like right off the bat though, I just feel like this could be like a mother or somebody that like sees you as a mother. Anyways, all right, here goes. Great Mother, fertile, growth, creation, and destruction, nurturing, protective. The Great Mother archetype reflects the great goddess and carries the polar aspects of the good and bad mother. In the upright position, the Great Mother is a most fertile and great creative force. Her light aspect overflows with abundance, joy, beauty, and fullness. Just like the ancient earth and fertility goddesses, she promises a new life and gives birth from a fruitful womb. She is the, I don't know how to say that word, fecund Earth Mother who offers you her nourishment and protection. Yeah, I honestly do feel like this is somebody that like I literally feel like it is like a mother, like for you guys. Like it could be your actual mother, it could just be like a friend of your mother, but like whatever the case is, like Cancer energy is relevant here because of, you know, like Cancer rules the mother, like the moon and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like there's not much to say about that, so let's pull up more oracle decks or oracle cards. Can you tell I'm literally all over the place? I'm like sweating right now. Who is thinking about pile 1? Honestly, you guys, like the way I'm talking and like the way I'm describing this to you guys, like it makes it sound like I'm on drugs, and like I promise I just had a Diet Coke and that's all. Like that's it. We have gratitude. I honestly feel like, and then we have Gemini here. So you could be a Gemini moon just because, you know, like the mother and then the moon sign and, you know, Gemini. But that's just for some of you guys. I honestly feel like this energy feels really blocked. I feel like this is a message that wouldn't originally had, like, obviously, like, had you not watched this video, I don't think that this message would ever be conveyed to you, like, in person. Like, this doesn't seem like that whoever this is would say this to you, you know? And I don't know why, but like I just get like two flip sides to this reading. Like I feel like it's like a double whammy where like your mother is thinking about you, pile 1, but at the same time there's somebody else that views you as a mother or projects that maternal energy onto you. Whether that be like a man, or whether that be another woman, whether that be, you know, like whoever it is, you know. But I just feel like it kind of goes both ways, and I feel like you can kind of interpret it either way. But I will say for the vast majority of you, I do feel like this is just like your mother, you know? And I feel like the message is that this is somebody that's like, they really appreciate you, honestly, even though they probably have like a very bizarre way of showing that to you. you know, with that Gemini moon energy, regardless of whether or not you actually have Gemini moon in your chart, I just feel like Gemini moons have had like a very chaotic relationship with their mother, and somebody who is very, you know, like all over the place, somebody who is very hard to lock down, very socially eccentric. So I feel like these are definitely traits that could define this person. And like, once again, like, they don't have to be your mother. Like, you could just look up to them as a mother, or they could just happen to be a mother. They could even just be like an aunt or something, you know? And like, I know like I keep saying that, but like genuinely, like, I just feel like there's like kind of this urgency on identifying this person's place in your life. Just because it seems as if though, like, I don't know, like, I feel like you know exactly who I'm talking about, like, just based on what I'm saying, but like, even though we're so like short in on the reading, or like we're not that far into the reading, and I don't know, like, I just feel like really scatterbrained, and I promise it's not the Diet Coke, you guys, I promise, but I just really feel like this person may also be into design, or like someone that just has an eye for things. I also feel like they kind of push beauty onto people, or they're just somebody who really cares about their own appearance, you know? Perhaps they like do makeup, you know, if they are like someone that does makeup, or they could just be someone who is very like eccentric, as I said, and somebody who really takes care to look their best consistently and perpetually. Honestly, I feel like they're the kind of person to be like, you know, like those moms that are like, no, your friend can't come over because I look crazy today, you know? Like, I feel like that's the kind of energy that this person radiates, you know? Just because I feel like they're somebody who's very uptight, and somebody who is just like very uptight, but at the same time all over the place, you know? It seems as if though like they can't stay in one place, but like wherever they're at, like they kind of like, they're tense, you know? Like, I'm getting like a lot of like, you know, like furrowed eyebrows, like shoulders high up, you know, like holding tension everywhere. This person seems to be very smart too, or somebody who is very good at taking in information, just with that Gemini energy alone, you know? Like, I just feel like this person's really smart and very just like maybe even a little bit naive, you know? And I think that this definitely extends to the emotional, like the way that they emotionally function, simply because, you know, like that Gemini energy. I know I keep like clinging onto that, but like truthfully, like I just feel like it really goes hand in hand with this Great Mother card, because it shows somebody that's naive, but at the same time fun. And I feel like this person can be like, they flip between like these two energies, you know? Or like 1 second they'll be like crazy, they'll be like ruining your life and just like, I don't even know, like killing flies and just like being like all over the place. And then like the next minute they're just like, what's like doing like the purest things ever. They're like giggling at a butterfly, like watching the sunset, having an iced coffee, and just like, you know, like chilling, like going to charity events and like donating money and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like this person's very hot and cold, and somebody who can like be a little bit of a person that blames people. You know what I mean? Like that kind of person that just like never takes self-accountability. And maybe this person does from time to time, but I feel like if they do, it's kind of to the bare minimum. It seems as if though like they're really good at pointing fingers, or they're really just good at being like criticizing others and kind of breaking other people down, you know, and being like, oh, like, you know, like you did this and this wrong, or like, oh, like that's projection, or oh, like, you know, like you don't care and stuff like that, or something like that, you know. And I'd say depending on the relationship that you have with this person, a pile one, I feel like it could like sometimes be really bad, you know. And obviously it's just like, you know, this person way better than I do, no matter how many cards I pull. So I just want to say that like if that does resonate, then you know, like you just know, you know, like this isn't like that kind of message isn't like, oh, like, well, maybe, you know, but it's just like, I think that like, you know, for sure, or B, it just like doesn't resonate at all, you know. But I'd say that even with that being said, like generally across the board, like I said, I do think that this is somebody who is very chaotic energetically. So yeah, let's pull some more cards. But yeah, I don't know, like I even feel like in the beginning of the reading, like you could tell I was kind of scatterbrained, and I feel like I'm kind of getting a grip on the reading now. And I do want to say, like, I feel like this person is a very unassuming person, or somebody who just, like, their first impression really doesn't mean anything, you know? I feel like they're the kind of person where you have to see their true colors, or they are somebody that hides their true colors for a pretty long time. Who is thinking about pile 1? We have alchemy. This definitely seems like somebody that has a huge energetical pull on you. It makes me think of, like, oh my gosh, this is so random, but do you remember, have you guys ever seen that movie called Robots? If you haven't, it's such a cute movie. But I remember there's this one scene where the main character, I forgot what his name was, but he was like blue and like, I don't know. And he kind of like had a mohawk. But I remember like there was this scene where they were like shaving something, or they were like, these robots were like cleaning off like a gate, and like this black stuff came off. And it was like, what was it like? It was like magnets. Like it was like little shavings, and it kept sticking to him, and he couldn't get it off of him. And in like when he grabbed it, it would like stick to him. Or it makes me think of like, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna destroy me for this, but I don't know what it's called. That black stuff in Spider-Man, like Venom or whatever it was called, like that stuff. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the kind of grip this person has on you energetically. And obviously, like, the examples that I told you are not positive examples, so take that for what it is. But I just think that, you know, like, that's the kind of energy that could, like, happen, you know? Or, like, that's what is possible if this person is out of balance. And the reason I'm kind of mentioning that is because alchemy, like, I just think that this person is able to kind of alchemize, or that, like, they are aware of, or maybe not aware, but I feel like they do it unconsciously, you know? I think that this person has like a huge energetical hold on you, and I just feel like they're able to kind of dig into your life, or dig into other people's life, you know, and really like spread their roots, you know? It makes me think of like an infestation. Like once this person's in your life, like they're going to be around for a pretty long time, and even when they're like physically gone, a silhouette of their energy is just kind of left, you know? So I'd say, like, you know, obviously depending on the relationship, it could be really bad or really good, you know? And like honestly, like I do feel like this could be like an ex, or this could be somebody that like things ended between the two of you simply because of the way that this person projected these energies onto you. And like once again, like take that however it resonates, but I just feel like the energy is like very like ambiguous, you know, like almost like, I don't know if androgynous is the correct word. I feel like ambiguous is definitely the vibe, just because like I feel like it could be a mom, it could be an ex, it could be a friend, you know? And it's just like, I really urge you to apply that, like, to whoever this sounds like, and be open-minded about who it could be, you know? Just because, like, I feel like this is kind of like a roll of dice, because, like, I don't know. But the reason that I'm saying that it could be an ex is because of the way that, like, this person, it seems as if though, like, they, like, mommy issues, like, let me not even, like, sugarcoat, like, mommy issues, like, it's giving mommy issues. Or I feel like this person wanted you to be the great mother, or they wanted you to kind of, like, coddle them and, like, baby them. And I know you're sitting here, like, I'm about to throw my phone and stop talking. But, like, seriously, like, I really do think that this person is thinking about how good they have it with you, you know, whether or not they are in contact with you. And something about this pile gives me this vibe that, like, this person, they're kind of in denial because they think you're coming back, but I feel like deep down at a more subconscious level, they know you're not coming back. I feel like they delude themselves and they're in denial about it. I wouldn't be surprised if this person's like really temperamental, especially like with the air energy. I feel like the air signs are surprisingly temperamental, and like no one talks about it, especially Libra, y'all. Libras are crazy, and no one says anything. Anyways, let's pull another card here. Who is thinking about pile 1? We also have movement. I do feel like you could have moved away from this person, or for some of you, you lived with this person and you are like, you left them, or like they had to leave where you live now, or they simply just lately have moved, or it's just that this person is definitely on the go right now. I feel like this person is definitely moving forward in their life, with or without you, because I do think that, like, I get like a really detached energy from this pile, honestly, on the person that we are inquiring about. Not so much your energy, maybe you could be a little bit more detached, but like I do want to say, like, this person definitely seems a little bit more detached or a little bit out of tune with their emotions. It just seems like their energy is very volatile, and it really is a roll of dice with them. I don't think that it's easy to tell how this person's feeling, what they're up to, what they are going to do next, and what they want, you know. Like, I just feel like they're all over the place, you know. Like, I'm just thinking of like an octopus that's just like, and all 8 arms are trying to like move in different directions, you know. Or it's making me think of like some, like, when like cartoon characters like have multiple arms and they're trying to like keep up with a bunch of things, you know, like something like that, you know. Like, I just feel like this person, like, they just have so much that they're always starting new projects. I feel like that's this kind of person. Like, they are always biting off a little more than they can chew, and they're always starting a bunch of new projects. They're always moving around, and I feel like they're very like inconsistent. I know that's been coming through a lot in this pile, but I feel like it's just like they start one thing and then they get bored and move on to another thing, you know? And I feel like they're very likely to, like, you know, like really focus in on something, you know, maybe even hyperfixate to a certain degree. And I just feel like they can be a little bit obsessive like that, and perhaps even suffocating. And I feel like when things don't comply to them, or when things don't easily give in for them, like, they just get very frustrated, and they can be very like stubborn about it, you know, surprisingly stubborn too, you know. But I just feel like this person's very all over the place when it comes to things like that. And I don't know, like with the movement card, like I just feel like generally like this person is just like always on the go, you know? Whether they're always going out, always being around friends, or if they're just like always like their mind's going a million miles a minute, you know, something like that. And I just feel like it's just like so all over the place, pile 1. And I know, like, I keep saying that. I feel like that's the kind of person that this is, you know, like someone who's just like, they talk and talk and talk and they're like, oh my gosh, I keep talking, like, I know, I'm sorry, like, oh, like, and then they're like, they keep going, you know, and like, not that that's a bad thing, but like, you know, like, it can just like, that's the kind of energy that this person seems to embody. Let's see, I'm gonna pull one more oracle card here. Oh my gosh, I shuffled that so badly. This deck is like so thick, you guys. Who is thinking about pile 1? Oh wow, this card just flew out. We have fine print with the number 7 and Virgo. Detail, look closer, inspection, yeah. I definitely do feel like, you know, ironically, even though this card is talking about someone who's very detail oriented, I feel like this person is somebody who fails to look at the details. They seem like the kind of person that doesn't really have that great of a social cue, or somebody who's not very good at reading the room, if you will. And especially with the 7th house in Virgo, maybe they are a Pisces rising, or they could just happen to have like, yeah, they would have to be a Pisces rising. But I do feel like Pisces is relevant here. We also have the number 66 here, and that definitely did also make me think of Virgo, because Virgo is a 6th sign, and then when you add 6 and 6, it's 12, which is the 12th house, so they could, you know, Pisces. But, or maybe they have Virgo in the 12th house. That would be Leo rising, I think. But, you know, regardless of the case here, I also feel like there's something about the Mercury. I don't know. Mercury seems relevant here too, but I just feel like this kind of confirms what I was saying earlier about how this person seems like the kind of person that's able to dish things out, you know, and like call people out and, you know, criticize them. But the minute you criticize them, they seem to like get really butthurt or get very defensive, you know. And with the gratitude card, like, I don't know, like the way that this reading is like turning around, or like the way that this reading is kind of progressing, it really does make me feel like you're not on that great of terms with this person, if at all. But I do think that if you are on good terms with this person, because like I said, it seems very volatile. So I feel like sometimes you're like really great with this person, and it's just like literally the dream relationship, you know? It's like they're everything that you could have wanted in a person, a mother, a friend, a lover, you know, whatever the case is here. But then there are times where like, wow, I literally wish this person wasn't even born, you know? And I stand by that. I feel like that is definitely like the most like concrete part of this reading, is that this person like at the drop of a hat they can be a completely different person, and somebody who like speaks, functions, and moves about their life completely differently. And I also feel like they may be someone who has very like long fingers, just because like that Gemini energy. So they could have like Gemini qualities, which is like they could have like really long arms. They might be a little bit fair or a little bit pale. They may have very beautiful eyes, like stars in your eyes. That's what I just thought of. Anyways, I think we have discussed enough of who this person could be. Obviously, we'll keep going on it, but now I want to get into like what they're thinking of you. We'll be using the tarot for that. But yeah, oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like this reading has been like all over the place. Like, if you're still here, like, I don't know, leave an octopus emoji in the comment box just to like let me know. Like, I promise I'll remember to. What is pile one's person thinking about in terms of pile one? What is pile one's person thinking of pile one? Okay. We have devil. Oh my gosh. Girl, you already knew. Y'all already knew. Let's not even act surprised. We have the star. We have 8 of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. And we have King of Swords. So yeah, we do not have a lot of cups here. And then we have the Sun. Yeah, we have no cups here. I don't think that this person has much water in their chart. They seem, once again, very detached, or they don't seem like a very emotional person. And if they are, they just don't seem like the kind of person that's very good at expressing them, you know? And they also seem like a prideful person, you know? Or someone who just like, they're very avoidant, you know? Or somebody who just like doesn't really seem to like think things through, or they could be like the silent treatment type. I honestly feel like here with the 8 of Wands, I noticed that like we have a rainbow here, so this could be like an LGBT like situation. If you are inquiring about an ex, like it'd be a little bit, not a little bit, but it would be very strange if it was in regards to my. Anyways, with the devil card here, the star card, we do have Capricorn and Aquarius, and I do think that those could be in the Mercury sign. So they could be, or like you could be, I'm more saying that they could be a Mercury, like a Capricorn or Aquarius Mercury. Simply because that energy, like even if they don't, it's just that energy of being someone who is a little bit strange and even quirky with their speech, you know, and they're a little bit inconsistent with it, or this just like they don't say much, but when they do speak, it's like there's a lot of weight to their words. But I also just feel like there's just times where this person doesn't, talk at all, you know. And I just feel like with the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords, this person definitely seems like the kind of person that's like, oh my gosh, with the Sun card on the bottom of the deck too. Seriously, it seems like this person is just like, they love playing or they love having fun. This is a really fun person to be around, honestly, you guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like lie to you and be like, oh, you know, like, no, girl. Like, this is a fun individual, and I do think that they can talk up a storm. They're very flirty. They're very healing sometimes, you know, and like when they want to be, like, they can really pull up and they can really show somebody like how passionate and how giving and empathetic they can really be. But I just feel like once again, there's other times where they literally are just like a spawn from hell. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the Sun card on the bottom of the deck, I just feel like this person is a very superficial person, you know, despite the fact that they can really like empathize with those with deeper emotions. Like, they themselves at like their core are very superficial, and it seems as if though like they care only about like specific things, you know, or that they can only care about materialistic things, especially with the devil card here. So maybe they're like promiscuous, or like they're like a shopaholic, or they're just somebody who's always eating out, always needs to be around friends, or they just like, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of person. And it's like, it doesn't really matter if they actually participate in the activities or the behaviors I just kind of listed out, but more so it's just about the fact that this person clearly puts value onto materialistic things or things that are not very sustainable. And I think that they can get very agitated when these things are like taken away from them or something like that. Or I just think that this person could also have vices, especially with the Pisces energy that we mentioned here. They don't have to have Pisces in their chart once again, but like that energy of like clinging onto something or trying to constantly escape. And I think that like, especially with the Sun card, like it seems as if though like this person always wants to feel the sun, or they want to always be having fun, And I feel like with the King of Swords, maybe at times when they feel like they don't have it, they feel very threatened. And with the Devil card, with what I said with this person, caring about materialistic things, if this is somebody that like, if it's like an ex, or if it's somebody that you are no longer in contact with, I feel like this could go a bunch of different ways. So if you were inquiring about it, or if this sounds like an ex to you, or somebody that you used to like, like be intimate with, or like a friend, I feel like they are thinking a lot about the good times with you, especially like the more rated R times, if you know what I mean. And I just feel like this person finds you to be very attractive. I think they are having a hard time finding somebody that can satiate them quite like the way you did. And if this sounds like a mother figure, or just like someone that that could be a mother or something of that nature, I think that the Devil card kind of applies in the sense that they may be turning to materialistic or unsustainable things to cope with your absence. I feel like with the Star card, they are really thinking about what a healing person you are. And I feel like you provided a lot of guidance for this person. I really do feel like for a vast majority of you, you really gave it your all for this person, or you really, like put in some energy for this person. And I think that with the Eight of Wands, it was pretty quick too. This person definitely seems to like have taken you for a ride, Chili. Girl, I know like you have like whiplash right now. You're like finally off the ride. You're like, girl, you ain't even know what happened to me. It's just like crazy, And especially with the King of Wands and the King of Swords, I feel like that kind of dynamic kind of describes a little bit how the relationship was, Just like very fiery, very like airy, very like intellectual, nothing but conversations and passion, And I feel like there was not enough emotions or emotional expression that went on. And I definitely do think that this person kind of regrets that, or like they feel like you left their life quite quickly, or that like you are somebody who is just like, I feel like you're the kind of person that's like, girl, I'm not going to stay in one place for way too long, or I'm just not the kind of person that's going to deal with that. I definitely feel like with the King of Wands and the King of Swords, like this definitely gives me the vibe that you Paiwan, like are somebody that's very, like fury, like you're not gonna be a doormat. And I feel like maybe at one time in your life you were a doormat. Regardless of the case here, it's just like you're not gonna tolerate that, And I definitely do think that this person knows you well enough to know that. And because of that, I feel like they resort to their fantasies a lot, or resort to playing dirty energetically in order to try and pull you back into their life. But I think that you're smarter than that. You are smarter than that, which is why like you're just like not going back. You're like, girl, stay over there, like social distancing, like girl, bye. But bye Felicia. And I do think that maybe you could be a fire ascendant, or you could have like a fire rising. Like these two cards together really tells a lot about like what your guys' placements could be, especially yours. I feel like you could have like air and fire in your big three, especially Sagittarius and Libra. There could also be some, Gemini's been present in this, but then there's also Aquarius, and then Leo, and I do think that Leo could be very prevalent here, or Leo is very relevant here, and Aries. But I definitely, like I said, there seems to be a highlight on Sagittarius and Libra. Some of you guys could be a Sagittarius Mars, or Sagittarius Venus, because Libra is ruled by Venus. Anyways, it's just like, once again, it doesn't matter if you have those placements. It's just like that energy, of like a very free-spirited person, somebody who isn't afraid to speak their mind, somebody who's very diplomatic. This person definitely thinks a lot about how fair you are, or how patient you are. I think that, like, even if you feel like you're not a patient person, I do think that you give a lot of people the light of day when they simply just do not deserve it, you know? And you're just, like, a very, like, caring person. And I feel like with the fine print card, you guys, I feel like this person feels like their life is so disorganized without you. Or, like, they feel like, I don't know, like, even, like, the way I'm saying it, like, without you, you know? I keep feeling like this person's not a part of your life, or they're no longer in it. So I just want to say, like, they could still be in your life. You could still be in contact with this person. But I just feel like with the nature of the devil card, like, it doesn't feel like they are. And even if you are, it seems like communication is very sparse. Sorry, I just yawned. But with the fine print card, I do think that this person thinks a lot about how detail-oriented you are. I feel like this person thinks a lot about, like, oh, like, what would pile 1 do here? Or, like, I don't think that they mean to purposely think about that, but more so, like, they run into a dilemma. And I do think that, like, maybe you could have talked some sense into this person just, like, when you were more connected, or, you know, just, like, in general, you know, it seems as if, though, like, you are a very organized person, at least in comparison to this person that you're inquiring about. And so, like, as a result, I feel like a knee-jerk reaction of theirs now is to be like, oh, like, what would pile 1 do in a situation like this, you know? And I feel like maybe, like, you know, like I said, if you're not, or not like I said, but, like, if you're not in contact with this person, this definitely frustrates this person. But I feel like above all else, they are very grateful for the lessons that you have taught them. I think that this person really, like, I don't know, you guys, like, I really do feel confident in saying that for a vast majority of you, like, 85% of you, I feel like this person is, like, you're no longer in contact with them, or you are not, like, talking to them as much as you used to. And I feel like this person is very grateful for all the lessons that you have taught them, and they're very pleased with how much you have helped them and how much structure you have brought into their life, or, like, gave them an eye for structure and how foundation should be in their life. But I also feel like with the devil card, there comes, like, this kind of regret and this remorse and this sadness, because it's like they're so comfortable in the way that they kind of work things out now, but they can't help but think of you in the midst of it, because that is a way of structuring their life that you taught them, you know? So it's kind of like this sense of, like, their life is better, but it was sponsored by you, you know? You were the reason that their life is as good as it is right now, or you are the reason that their life is as structured as it is right now. And not because you had a direct say in that, or, like, you actually did something. Maybe you could have, but it's just the way that you taught this person and the way that you, like, role modeled, you know? Even if you didn't mean to teach this person anything, it's just like this person took notes of you mentally, you know? And I feel like this person can be kind of like a suck up, or they could be very, like, you know, like, how do I say, like, they could be somebody who just, like, mimics people around them, or they're somebody who is very susceptible to copying people around them, you know, like, picking up other people's vibes, you know. They could be, like, a social chameleon, or somebody who adapts to different social settings based on, like, how they're feeling, how they feel about everyone around them, you know. And I feel like it really kind of depends, you know. But yeah, it definitely seems like somebody in this situation is a social chameleon. But I will say that it seems like this person, I think that you have a better backbone and a better sense of self than this person. And I feel like that's definitely another thing that this person is thinking about, is that you're somebody that has such a spine, you know, or somebody who, they think you have nerve, honestly, pile 1. Like, they really do think you are bold, or you're somebody that has audacity to them. Like, they know, like, you have, like, you have tea to spill, you know, like, there is tea to be spilled when it comes to you, simply because, like, you stay so true to yourself, and you're somebody who is just, like, always very honest with themselves. Like, you just do not cater to people, you don't take anyone's BS, you know? And, like, you can even be a little bit aggressive with your approach of things, especially with, like, the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords here. But I feel like it's all in good heart, you know? I feel like you just do not tolerate injustice, or you just do not tolerate stagnancy, you know? Oh, especially stagnancy. This person definitely sees that you have made progress with this movement card, girl. I feel like this person has been watching you, and maybe for some of you, you know this, and if it's a surprise to you, I feel like you're pretending it's a surprise, because I feel like you know that this person has subtly kept an eye on you, whether it just be energetically or literally, For some of you, they could be watching your social media, especially with like all the air placements we have here, because I feel like the air placements deal the most with social media, you know? So I feel like they could be looking at your profiles on like a separate account, or like asking their friends to like, you know, for their phone to look at your account from like a stranger's profile. Or, you know, if you are a little bit more popular on social media, like they just look through your stuff constantly. Or, you know, like they're just like, they're always thinking about you, you know, or they're always kind of like wanting to see how you're doing. I feel like this person's very competitive. I definitely think that this is either I think it's like, it isn't a bad or good thing. It just depends on how this person is handling it, you know? So I feel like there are times where this person could literally be competing with people, trying to tear them down and play dirty. But I also feel like this person can be playfully competitive and really encourage other people to step up their game, you know? And just be a very encouraging and a very fun person to be around, you know? Like, once again, like, I just feel like if this person's out of balance, like, it's like, chili, get me away from them. But if they're in balance, it's seriously like they are so magnetic and they are so much fun and even a little bit addicting, you know? But I just feel like for you guys, it definitely seems as if though if you are no longer in contact with this person, I think that the cons outweighed the pros simply because of how turbulent the relationship was, you know? And, you know, it doesn't even have to be like, and if you're still in contact with this person, I just think that, like, generally speaking here, like, I want to say that you guys are probably not talking very much, if at all. And yeah, I think that with the alchemy card too, this person is definitely also thinking about how you're a very good manifester. This person doesn't really know how you do it, Paiwan, because like I said, they seem to be a little bit of more detached energy, or somebody who doesn't really have like the intuition or the talent for the occult stuff quite like you do, you know? You yourself could read tarot, or you could be somebody who is like really into astrology, or you could even be religious, or just a very powerful manifestor, or somebody with like a very potent energy. And I think that this person really thinks about how you're able to bring things into fruition, you know? Or you're able to really put your mind to things and really bring them into reality, you know? This person will never not be impressed by that, honestly, and they will always think about it, you know? And I feel like this will definitely feed your ego, but I definitely do think that this person subtly wishes for you in the next person that they get into a relationship with. If you are inquiring about an ex, or if this sounds like an ex, if you're like, this refers to like a mother figure or like a maternal figure or somebody that you just weren't like involved with like that, I definitely think that, like, regardless of the case here, like, this person still projects like you onto other people, or they are always looking for you in other people, you know? Or that you just like, you're always on their mind. And I think that not all the time are they actually thinking about something specific with you. I just think that generally, if you really boil it down, this person just has you on their mind constantly, you know? The littlest things really do remind them of you. And it's quite bad, you know? Especially in terms of like the materialistic side of things. Like I said, I feel like this person could really turn to not very good things to cope. So yeah. And I feel like the messages are kind of coming to an end here. I feel like I'm not really picking up as much as I was. But I will say that, like, actually, I think I'm just going to sum up your reading, pile 1, by saying that whoever this is, they are somebody who's very scatterbrained, someone who's very all over the place, and a very agitated person who really cannot just stay in one place. And even if they do, they're like, you know, they're waiting to move again. They're waiting to get a move on again, you know? They're very impatient. And they definitely seem to try and like have a hold on you, but I feel like at the time that you're watching this, their grip on you is starting to like loosen, or you're starting to slip away completely, you know? And, you know, like, this could be a maternal figure, this could be your mother, this could be someone that is just a mother or has kids or something like that, but this could also be an ex that projected that kind of energy onto you and wanted that from you, you know? And I just feel like this person seems to be kind of like an eccentric individual and somebody who can really struggle with handling themselves and expressing themselves and kind of going over the details in their life. And I feel like they can be very sloppy, but they are thinking about you, and what they're thinking about you is the good times, simply to put it. The times that they had fun with you, the times where you were getting a move on. They felt like they made a lot of progress of you, or they felt like you brought a lot of speed into their life, you know? But I feel like now that you're not here, like, it seems as if though, like, they grow stagnant at times, or they grow even more agitated because they aren't moving nearly as fast as they were when they were with you, you know? It feels like now that you're out of their life, or like if you are out of their life, or you know, if you aren't as like now that you aren't as close to this person as you used to be, it seems as if though like things have kind of hit the brakes for them, and they're very agitated because of that. And I feel like they kind of like oh shoot, like when Pile 1 was in my life, like things were going so well, it was so much fun, it was so beautiful, you know, it was so fast paced, and it was just so stimulating, and I was able to keep up with it, you know, it was fun. But I feel like now it's just kind of like, you know, and I feel like they're really reminiscing about it. Oh, I even see the Seven of Swords after the Sun card. Yeah, this person they don't seem like a very honest person, or they just seem like that kind of person that's like, they don't really like tell the truth. You know what I'm saying, Pile 1? Like they just don't tell you things, and they say it's not lying because they didn't tell you something different, but it's just like they're still withholding information, and they're still being translucent or even opaque when it comes to what they need to say, you know? And I feel like this person struggles a lot with their expression of their emotions or just saying things. And they're definitely thinking about that too. I think that there's a lot of regrets with this person, but they're just not willing to admit any of them out loud because they seem to be a little bit prideful. But yeah. That's all I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated. And if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Moon Void Tarot and this piece of rose quartz, this tower or the point or the obelisk or whatever you want to call it, just like, you know, like we have options, okay? Anyways, before we get into the tarot, I do want to pull from several oracle decks that I have here. Today's reading was probably the biggest reading that I'll like literally ever do in my entire career. Just kidding, but you know. So yeah, let's just get right into it. This will be a reading for who is thinking about you and why. Like, what are they thinking about you? So yeah, I had a lot of fun in Pile 1, honestly, so I'm like really excited. Who is thinking about Pile 2? Who is thinking about Pile 2? Okay, we have Raven King. Now, I do want to say I pulled out the guidebook for Pile 1, and I honestly really love, like, I just love the context that this guidebook provides, you know, like, I always gush about it because, like, it's literally a book, you guys, like, seriously, this is book, like, this is, like, chapter book, this is, like, you sit down and read this, you know? Anyways, so yeah, I do want to get into this. Oh my gosh, there it is. All right. It says death, decomposition, transmutation, discipline, Raven King. The Raven King is the gateway to the mysteries and inner world. To the ancient alchemists, the raven or crow was often seen as the symbol for the initiation toward the attainment of enlightenment. The raven has always been seen as an omen for change. In alchemy, the Raven King represents the transformative power of death and decomposition, which becomes the compost that is essential for the new seed and cycle of life. This is transmutation, and it is the first step in alchemy called the blackened phase. I don't know how to say that word. This card affirms a conscious choice to begin on the path of illumination, the first step towards achieving alchemical gold. Yeah, honestly, like, there's Scorpio energy here in saying that, because girl, like when you say death, I immediately go to Scorpio. I'm like, Scorpio, that's Scorpio. But, you know, it doesn't matter if they have that placement or not. Like, why does it look like that? Stop. Like, I'm sorry, I just keep messing with it. But this person could be someone who's like really into ravens or crows. Like, this is just like a random thought. And I know that's, anyways, I also feel like this person seems to be like misunderstood a lot, or they seem to be somebody who just like, it's giving Bruno from Encanto, you know, like, it's just like don't shoot the messenger, you know, or like don't, like, it's just like, it makes me think of Absol from Pokemon, you know. They show up right before disaster, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are the cause of the disaster, you know. Same with like Scorpios. Like, I feel like when Scorpios come into anyone's life, it like signifies like, or it's like a marking of changes in their life, you know. And so I feel like this person is definitely a very intense person, this person has, they've seen some things, okay? Like, whoever it is that's inquiring, like, whoever it is that's thinking about you, their energy is intense. And I think that if they are thinking about you, you know. Like, I just feel like this person's energy is so potent. If you know immediately who I'm talking about. Like, I feel like there's someone that immediately came to mind when I said that this person, like, their energy, it's like, I don't even know. It, like, what's, like, it makes me think of, like, that magnifying glass and, like, the sun and it, like, how it shines in one spot and it's, like, really hot. You know, like, in, like Toy Story when Sid did that to Woody, you know? Like, this person is very concentrated and this person is a very focused individual. But I also feel like this person is very supportive, or somebody who is, like, very, like, they're very sweet. I don't know how to describe it. They seem crazy, or they seem like, not crazy, but, like, you know, I just feel like this person, they get a lot of guff, or they seem to be very misunderstood. And I feel like that the way that they express a lot of these emotions that are going on within them can sometimes be a little bit like side-eye, you know, like, what are you... But I genuinely just feel like this person is somebody that, like, they move with their own intentions and they are very, like, they see something and they have a very good intuition. I feel like they really have an eye for things. This definitely could be one of those, like, they could be, like, very gothic in appearance, or they could just be somebody who is very into, like, gothic things, you know? Or, like, just, like, the Victorian style in general. But I think that, generally speaking here, this person definitely seems to be, like, a very intense person. Anyways, let's pull some more oracle cards here. Cannot spend this much time on just one. Who is thinking about pile 2? Oh, we have attraction with Pansy. And we have Libra here. Oh my gosh, you guys. For a lot of you, I feel like this could be somebody that you... This could be somebody that, like, likes you, or, like, somebody that's, like, a crush on you. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I said it like that. But, like, originally I was just, like, thinking, like, oh, like, you know, like, this person is maybe, like, oh, like, you know, maybe they're an ex or something like that, because Venus retrograde, I was like, oh, you know, like, but, like, genuinely, I feel like this is somebody that you have talked to, or this is just somebody that you know of and you're not too sure about. I almost wonder if this is the kind of situation to where, like, you guys, I know, like this is like maybe like what you would say, like, you guys, I know this person's thinking about me, or I know this person feels some sort of way about me. Like, am I delusional, or am I, like, crazy? Like, I swear I'm not crazy, you know? I feel like it's that kind of vibe, you know? Where you're like, is this person thinking about me? Like, I know they're thinking about me. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm seeing signs, you know, like, you know, I feel like that's the kind of vibe here. But I also just feel like generally here, this person seems to be very, like, attractive, like, very dark features, very, like, black sheep vibes, you know? Like, this person doesn't seem to conform to very many, like, social things, or, like, they don't seem like a very conformative person in general, you know? I feel like maybe they give society a lot of guff, or maybe they're a little bit careless with the way that they do and say things simply because they have no regards for what is expected of them. But at the same time, like, they go about it in such a charming way. Like, this person, it's crazy how charming they are. Like, they don't even have to do anything, and there are people that are so drawn to them. There's people that probably, like, obsess over him, or I say him, but, like, just because of the king energy here, but this could be, like, a woman too. But I do want to say, for a lot of you guys, like, this definitely seems to be somebody with a more masculine energy, so they could be a man, but it doesn't matter. Because, like, in pile 1, like, the energy was a lot more, like, ambiguous, you know? It wasn't really strictly masculine or feminine, but I feel like for this one, it, like, seems to be leaning more towards the masculine. And also with the attraction card, like, I definitely do think that this person, like, especially with Pansy, like, this person seems to be very lucky with a bunch of things. So, like, they could have, like, a Scorpio Jupiter, or they could just be somebody that has a lot of good aspects of Jupiter in their chart. Because the Pansies makes me think of Animal Crossing. And the reason I'm saying that is because I remember, like, when I first started Animal Crossing, like, I had my island, and my native flower, or my island flower, was the pansy. And I remember my friend was like, you're so lucky, because apparently a lot of people wanted it. Like, I don't really know if people actually did want it, but, like, I personally like the mums. Anyways, besides the point, what I'm trying to say here is that, like, it seems like this person just kind of, like, they're very regal, you know? Like, there's somebody who seems to be very confident, maybe a little bit stuck up, but, like, in a very endearing, charming way, you know? I feel like if this person wasn't as charming as they were, they would be such a total jerk, you know? They would be so painfully not a vibe. But I think that because this person seems to be very charming or very likable or very sweet, you know? Even though the fact that, like, I feel like this person, like, at first glance, they seem like evil and they're gonna, like, you know, like, steal, like, they steal puppies in the middle of the night and then, like, I don't know, you know, like, they're just, like, really, like, they just seem very evil and very, like, I don't know if grotesque is the correct word, but something like that. But genuinely, I do think that this person is very kind and very sweet and maybe a little bit too sweet. I feel like it's very hard to tell, like, how this person is coming off, you know? Like, I feel like they flirt, like, very unintentionally, or they just, like, if you're like, oh my gosh, are you flirting with me? Or you flirt so much and they're like, what do you mean, am I flirting? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's so Libra. Like, Libras, like, Libras are always flirting. And, like, seriously, my best, like, my new friend, like, she's always flirting. And she was like, is that flirting? Like, am I flirty? And I was like, girl, don't even play with me. Like, you flirt. Like, you flirt, you know? Like, you're, like, they were flirting with me, you know? And we're just friends. Anyways, let's pull some more Oracle cards here. I have 5 decks here, by the way. Who is this person that's thinking about pile 2? Who is this person that's thinking about pile 2? We also have Rainbow Bridge. I do feel like if you're inquiring about someone that, are they going to make a move or not, I do think that with time they'll do it. But it just seems as if though they're going through some things right now. I think that with the Raven King, this is also just somebody who generally just goes through a lot of transformations in their life. Or it seems as if though they're always carrying a ton of burdens. I think that this person is also very secretive, a little bit mysterious, if you will. Even if they seem to be very open, it's clear that there is more to them or that they are hiding something. And I feel like this can be very agitating. And I feel like maybe at times it can be a little bit self-destructive or even a little bit crazy with things, you know? And I, like, when I say crazy, I mean, like, I feel like they can really take things to the extreme or they can take things way too literally. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but if you've ever seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, there's this scene where Velma's in the kitchen and she's like picking at the wall and she's like, there's something underneath here. And she takes a spatula and literally destroys the wall in order to find a clue. And I just feel like that's so this person, you know? I feel like this person can get very obsessive or this person can really like hyperfixate on things when they want to know something, you know? And I feel like maybe at times it can even be a little bit suspicious or a little bit like presumptuous, you know? Because like they want to know things or they want to jump to conclusions. And I feel like maybe at times like they just go with their first gut instinct despite the fact that maybe their first gut it's right, but it's not processed enough for them to like kind of put sense to it, you know? And so because of that, excuse me, by the way, I feel like this person can maybe at times do very questionable things or say very questionable things, especially with the Rainbow Bridge card. I feel like there are times where they say things and it's like, Chili, I know you did not just say that. Like, please, like, did you know that if you don't talk, like, no noise will come out, you know? And I just feel like that's, like, the kind of vibe that this person may embody. And I feel like maybe at times they can be a little bit temperamental with their speech or they can be, like, very impatient. Like, Libra energy is, like, textbook definition by the books impatience. If you've ever had a Libra friend, and they will deny this, okay? They won't admit it to you, but they are impatient. And I feel like this person definitely also has a flair for the drama. I feel like this person can be a little bit sassy. And yeah, I think that at first glance, this seems to be somebody who is very, like, it's either one of two ways, okay? And I'll describe both. I just think that either A, they come off as very sassy, very flamboyant, and very, like, fun and detached. But then as you get to know more, you find out that they are, in fact, very attached, very emotional, very intense, and going through constant metamorphosis. Metamorphosi? I don't know. But or it's the other way around. So they seem like very intense, but like they're actually like just like a softie and they like play too much. But I more so want to say that it's the former over the latter, just because it seems as if though, like, you know, I think that this person's very well liked, may have like a very vast social circle, or they may be somebody who, you know, has a lot going for them, you know, or they just have a lot of friends, you know. Probably very good at networking. They could have like a, I feel like this is the kind of person that has like a hilarious birth chart, you know, where they have like a Scorpio sun and like a Scorpio rising, but then they have like a Libra moon, you know, and you're like, girl, like, you're just like, you're like, please, you know, like, stop, just stop, you know. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you know. But like, it's just like, you have like all this intense energy, or you come off this like intense, but like the reality is that all you want to do is like frolic in a meadow and like drink iced coffees and teas. Like, I feel like this is the kind of person that'll like yell at you and like be crazy, you know. Like, when I say be crazy, like, once again, like, I just feel like they'll be like I remember there's this post that said like Scorpios be like evil gang, evil gang, evil gang, and then like later on they say something like, hey, I hope you're doing well, we should hang out sometime, I love you, please don't forget that. And in fact, that's so this person would be like, I hate you and everything about you, you're so annoying, this world sucks. And then like 15 minutes later they'll be like, hey, you didn't text me back, like, are you okay? You know. Who is thinking about pile 1? Who is this person? Or pile 2, pardon me. We have Light. I do think that this is somebody who is very bright, or somebody who is very optimistic, you know. I think that this person has gone through a lot of big changes in their life, and like as a result, they're just very positive, you know. I think that they're very understanding of the way things have worked out in their life. Or I feel like this person has completed a lot of cycles in their life, and I think that they're beginning to understand that they are in fact just cycles, and that everything does in fact come to an end. And so like as a result, I feel like this person is a little bit predictable. I think that this person is a little bit stubborn, maybe has like an aversion to change, or maybe they just seem to be the kind of person that really clings on to things, you know. And when I say that, I mean like this person just seems to be generally the kind of person that like clings on to things or doesn't want to let things go, you know. But I feel like they've had to, simply because of the way that their life works, and because of the way that they're always changing, you know, and the way that they're always going through, you know, like just like metamorphosis, you know. Like they're always shedding skins, and they're always kind of like, you know, like getting rid of things in their life, decluttering, if you will. Let's pull another oracle card here. Oh my gosh, pile 2. I just like dropped the whole deck. There's cards all over the floor. This is so embarrassing. But while I'm picking up these cards, I just feel like generally this person seems to be the kind of person that just goes through a lot of changes in their life. And there's somebody who has probably seen some things even since childhood. They probably had a very turbulent childhood. And I feel like even the way that I'm expressing this energy right now, it seems like this person has like a lot of trouble opening up and kind of like communicating with you. I wouldn't be surprised if this person manifested this video into your life because they really want to let you know something. But yeah, I'd say generally this person seems like the kind of person that doesn't really do a very good job of expressing their feelings. So I feel like they turn to different kind of things to kind of express how they're feeling, you know? Like their actions will show their heart. You know, like maybe like instead of like telling you I love you, like they'll buy you something, or they will like, you know, do thoughtful gestures for you or anything of that nature. I think I picked up all the cards. Okay. That was so crazy. I cannot believe that happened to me on camera. I'm glad you shared that moment with me, I guess. Me not learning my lesson and shuffling this cards the same way again. Anyways, who is this person that is thinking about pile 2? Who is this person thinking about pile 2? Okay. Ooh, okay. We have Tandem Bicycle, number 2 in Taurus. So they could be a Taurus second house. That would mean that they're in Aries rising. See, I feel like there's kind of like a general gist for what their placements may be or what your placements could be. Heavy emphasis on like Libra or Scorpio Sun, and then like Aries rising. Or they could be a Taurus too. Maybe Taurus Mercury, I don't know. Anyways. I do think that with the tandem bicycle, this person definitely is very in tune with you. Or this is somebody that you really click with pile 2. If this is, and you're pile 2 and then number 2. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's like no number 2s here. But generally speaking here, I just feel like this person, it definitely seems as if though they're very in sync with you. And I think that like you probably see a lot of angel numbers when you're with them, or you just happen to notice a lot of coincidences, if you will, when you're around them, you know? I don't know, I just feel like the one thing that is ambiguous about this pile is the state of the relationship that you have with this person. I am confident in saying that this is probably not an ex situation or somebody, like if you are in an ex situation with this person, like I feel like this person's coming back around. But I generally do feel like this is somebody that you're getting to know. This is somebody that is making a return into your life, or this is just somebody who is generally around you, you know? Like it seems as if though, like you have a means of contacting this person, you know? I don't really sense any sour energies here. In fact, for some of you, this could even be like a crush or somebody that is going to come into your life. For some of you, you might have not even met this person yet. And so like all of this could be on like an not astrological. Would that be, no. Like it just seems as if though like there's like you could be connected to this person very spiritually. Usually I don't really talk too much about like spiritual stuff like that. Or, like spiritual relationships. And not to like sit here and be like, oh, like usually, you know, but like seriously, like I just feel like this person is somebody that like contacts you through like angel numbers or through like weird like coincidences, you know? Like for example, they'll be like, oh, they really like lemonade, so like every time you go out, like you see a glass of lemonade or you see lemonade stands or something like that. Like just like weird coincidences and things like that kind of remind you of this person, you know? And I also feel like this person is very delicate, or they could be somebody who is just like, they're very predictable, honestly. At least when you step back. I feel like when you step back and really look at this person for all that they are and all that they go through, they're a very predictable person, and I do think that you can see that they go through a lot of the same things again. They return to old habits. But I feel like if you are in like close up on like closing in on their life and what they go through, it's very chaotic and they're always going through something, you know? But I just think that like, you know, when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture with this person's life, you can just see that they're always going through a sort of cycle in their life. And the reason that I'm saying that is because with the pansies, I don't know if pansies are perennial or annual, but it's just the fact that like, you know, like I do know that pansies are seasonal flowers, and so I just feel like that is so this person's vibe, you know, of where it seems as if though they're always going through cycles, or you are always going through cycles with this person. I wouldn't be surprised if like this is an on and off relationship, or if this is somebody that you have had several different unions with, but like you guys seem to go into separation multiple different times. And I think that this person is definitely coming back around, only if you want them to. But I also feel like it doesn't really matter if you want them to or not. It seems as if though they are going to come back around, and it's up to you as to whether or not you want them to come back around. And that's obviously for those of you that are, you know, like in no contact with this person or in that cycle with this person. But for others of you, I just generally think that this person is in fact coming around, or that this is somebody that is just, you know, like a cyclical person and somebody who repeats a lot of things. They could also be a very ritualistic person, or somebody who like does a lot of rituals, and not like seances or anything like that. They could, but that's like a very specific message. Like literally, like I could only see like maybe one of you, like out of like hundreds of thousands, just like resonating with that. But I just feel like generally, like when I say ritualistic, like this person is very routine oriented, and that there's a way that they like to do everything, you know? I feel like they're a little bit finicky about these kind of things, you know? I feel like they're very superstitious. I definitely do think that there's a lot of superstitions that comes with like ravens. So I think that this person could be very finicky of like, you know, spilling salt, opening umbrellas in buildings, walking under ladders, you know, things like that. This person is definitely very superstitious, and they may have an eye for the occult or an immense respect for the occult. So I feel like with that being said, this person is just like, they're not into disrespecting anything. They could also like be really into like object respect, or I don't know what it's called, but like, you know, they just have a respect for inanimate things. All right, let's get into the tarot here. Whew. I hope it's resonating so far. Pile 2. I've never done a reading this beefy and long. I'm really excited. Alright. I'm gonna have to be careful with this deck because it does depict some nudity and like, you know, like how YouTube be nowadays. How does pile 2, or what is pile 2's person thinking of pile 2? What are they thinking about pile 2? Oh, the card just flew out, or fell out. We have Knight of Pentacles. We have 10 of Pentacles. Ace of, or Queen of Swords, pardon me. We have 7 of Swords. And we have Page of Cups. And then we have 4 of Wands. What a beautiful reading. This person really cares about you, pile 2. And, you know, like I said with the attraction card, this could be romantic. This could be your soulmate. Oh my gosh. There is this video that I had seen by this TikToker named Watery Aquarius. Definitely go check him out. I got an astrological reading from him for Venus and Leo, and I really liked it. He's very nice. I like him. But anyways, there was this video where he said, like, regarding 12th house, like 12th housers, they're like, it could be scary, it could be emotional, it could be your soulmate. And I just feel like that's so like the vibe in this situation here. I definitely do think that this person feels some sort of way about you. I feel like that's how this person feels about you. Like, this could be scary, this could be very emotional, this could be my soulmate, you know? Especially with 10 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. Like, that is just like, that really does give me soulmate vibes, or at least somebody that is very like, they find solace in you, they find a home in you, you know? And I definitely do think that with the 7 of Swords and the Queen of Swords, they seem to be kind of like secretive, or they seem to kind of like stand their ground. And honestly, like, for some of you with the Queen of Swords, they could be intimidated, but I also just feel like it's more of like when there's 2 Scorpios in a room. Like, you yourself could also be a Scorpio, but I'm just kind of like talking about like just that energy in general, you know, of like 2 very formidable people that are presented to each other, you know? And it makes me think of like 2 bears, you know, like circling around each other, you know? Or like, you know what I mean? It's just like 2 very powerful people, or 2 very powerful individuals, and they know that the other person is just as powerful as they are, you know? So it's a matter of truly putting skills, you know? Or like being strategic, you know? And it's like, obviously, like, not to say like this person is like afraid or anything. I do think that this person is a little bit intimidated, but not like in a, oh my gosh, like this pile 2 is so scary sort of way. But it's because they know that they can't really play silly with you, or that they can't play dumb with you, or that their usual tactics that would work on other people wouldn't work on you, you know? Especially with the Knight of Pentacles, I do think that they're the kind of person that's like slow and steady wins the race. I definitely do feel like they're the kind of person that doesn't mind waiting a little bit. This is a very patient person. Somebody who doesn't mind investing a little bit of extra time into things, or doesn't mind, you know, like spending a little bit of extra time to get a little bit more reward. And I do think that with the Page of Cups, this is a very dreamy individual, somebody who's very like, they just love daydreaming, you know? Like, I'm just like, I'm closing my eyes right now, I'm just like swaying side to side. Like, this person is just so like childlike in such a cute and almost endearing way, you know? And I just feel like they really do have it going for them. And I really do think that this person is very tenacious and very motivated. They really want things for themselves. And I also feel like there's like a particular emphasis on the family. I feel like this person just like, they're very attached to their family, or they're just very attached to people that they consider family, you know? I almost want to say that maybe they don't have that great of a relationship with their family simply because of the energies that have been presented. That's a very specific message, you know, and it doesn't have to resonate. But generally what I'm trying to say here is that this person, once again, has seen some things, and they know what it's like to be hurt, and they know what it's like to have their heart broken, and they know what it's like to also rush things. And I definitely do think that that's why this person is taking their time with you, or why they aren't disclosing everything to you in one go. Simply because they know that, like, no pun intended, but playing all their cards in one go isn't the vibe, or it isn't the smartest way to either A, get your attention, or B, just come at you in any way, shape, or possible. Or just, like, you know, like, pulling up like that. Like, they know that they can't just, like, run up on you. I think that with the, like, it's just, like, this person's very, like, they know that you're capable of accepting love, or it's, like, they know, like, that they have a lot of love to give. And whether it be platonic or romantic, it's just the sense that this person, like, they know, but they don't want to, like, risk it, you know? They're not someone that likes taking risk. I will say that. They're not somebody that likes rolling the dice. I think that for them, it has to either be a hard yes or a hard no. Otherwise, they're just not doing it, you know? And I also feel like with the Queen of Swords, like, just generally what this person thinks of you, I feel like we haven't even really discussed that much. This person really thinks you're really smart. With the Queen of Swords, they really admire your intelligence. Like, you can talk. You're very eloquent in their eyes. And you're also somebody who is very, like, hard to lock down. Like, I feel like you're, like, to this person, they think that you're very, like, you're very cunning, you know, and very strategic. Like, with the Seven of Swords and, like, the Ten of Pentacles, like, you may be somebody who is very established on their own, or you may be somebody who is, like, self-made, you know, like, you could already have a house, or, like, have a very good paying job, and, like, you are, like, you know, single or whatever. And it's just, like, once again, it doesn't really matter what the nature of this relationship is, but I just feel like with the card, like, with the energies that have been presented with the attraction card, it just seems as if, and the Page of Cups and the Four of Wands, I definitely do think that this particular pile leans more towards the romantic part. It doesn't have to, but, you know, I just, like, we're not lying around here, okay? Anyways, I just feel like the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, I've had that energy, like, I feel like you guys mirror each other a lot, or, like, this person sees a lot of themselves in you, or they see a lot of, you know, like, them in you, or you in them. There we go. And I just feel like this person definitely recognizes that you're just as tenacious, and that you're just as driven, motivated, goal-oriented. And they really like that about you. Especially because, like, it seems as if though, like, they've had a hard time coming across people like you. And that's probably why they don't want to run up on you, because they probably don't want to mess this up. Or they don't want this opportunity to kind of, like, you know, because I think that, once again, with the Queen of Swords, that they know that you're not somebody that just, like, will fall for, like cliche things, or that you're not somebody that you can just, like, run up on or something like that, you know? You're somebody who can take anything, but at the same time, it's just, like, it's a judge of character, you know? There's nothing that you can't handle, but there are things that you will not accept. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that with the Ten of Pentacles, they find you just to be, like, a very stable person, and somebody that has a lot of good things in their life, you know? So I almost wonder if with the Rainbow Bridge card, like, this person wonders if taking that risk will be worth it with you, simply because, like, maybe at times they feel like you already have everything, but at the same time, I just feel like this person feels like they are stable enough in their life. Nothing about this reading makes me feel like this person is particularly in need right now, or that they are struggling too much. And I think that at least nothing above the usual, you know, of going through transformations, going through changes in their life, you know. And I feel like in that sense, you guys are very much on the same page, or this person feels like you're on the same page with them, you know? And this person always, like, with the Seven of Swords, I also think that this person thinks about you very obsessively, simply because, like, they don't really know what exactly is going through your mind. So if you do talk to this person, especially with the Page of Cups, I almost wonder if this person constantly asks you, like, oh, what's on your mind? Or, oh, what are you thinking about, you know? Like, do you mind telling me what's going on and stuff like that? And it's like, they may come off as nosy, but it's more so because they don't know what you're thinking, or they just want to know more about your thought process simply because they really admire you, you know? And, like, I feel like with the more that they get to know you, and the more they kind of discover the way that you talk, and the way that you express yourself, and the way that you think, they find a lot of synchronicities of you. And like with this tandem bicycle, they're just like, oh my gosh, like we have so much in common, you know? Or like, oh my gosh, like I feel like this person really just gets it, you know? Like you really do give off light at the end of the tunnel vibes, just because like this person really does at times feel like you're their end game, or that you could be like the one, you know? And it's just like, obviously take that if it resonates, but I just feel like generally like, this person, like they might see you as a soulmate, you know, pile 2. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just even be best friends. But like, let's be real here. Like, I feel like the energies here are romantic. And I just feel like this person, like, they're definitely very probing. I feel like that Scorpio energy that came through at the beginning of the reading is very relevant now. Or it always has been, but you know, like, especially right now. Simply because, like, I feel like Scorpios are like that energy. And like, whether or not they are Scorpio, just that energy of being very like detective vibes and being very like probing, even a little bit nosy or scrutinizing, simply because Scorpios want to know literally everything, or they want to know the vibes, or they just like they don't want to be surprised, you know? And I feel like when you do surprise this person, or when you do reveal more of yourself, they're surprised that you are what they were expecting, you know? Like, you don't really surprise them in a bad way, or you don't give them an ick or anything, because you know how to pull up, and you know, like, you just, like, have a lot of the same values as this person, pile 2. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, I think that you understand how sync you are with this person. And they really appreciate you for that, you know? And I think that with the Rainbow Bridge, like, they're wanting to take a leap of faith of sorts of you. I think that they really want to, like, I don't know why, but distance is coming in. Maybe this person lives far away from you, or this person is just like something about like distance, or there's something like whether it be physical or emotional. It seems as if though like you are not in direct contact with this person, or if you were to contact them, there would be like a lag, you know, or that there would be kind of like a waiting period, you know. I think that time has really constrained this relationship, this connection. It feels like it has been delayed by several things. It feels like, you know, it makes me think about like a delayed flight. I just thought about how the other day my friend was texting me. She was like, oh, my flight got delayed, then it got canceled. I feel like a lot of things get in the way of this relationship. I feel like the way that timing has really hit this relationship is truly absurd. And I think that this person thinks about that too, you know. I feel like this person notices that, like, the sheer amount of inconveniences that comes with trying to be with you and trying to spend time with you, be around you, connect with you. And they just feel like they can't really do it in the ways that they want to. And I feel like they think about it a lot because they want to know how they can pull up to you, or they want to know how they can kind of compromise, or, you know, to kind of compensate in order to get the time and the quality time and conversations and whatnot that they want with you. And I feel like they're in the midst of kind of thinking about the next time that they can truly connect with you. Because I do feel like, once again, like maybe the communication is a little bit sparse, or that this is just like an upcoming thing, or this is something that is like coming up, you know. I feel like the door is honestly like, I heard this in another video today, like the door is closing, but I honestly feel like the messages are kind of like fizzling out now. So I'm just going to sum up your reading, pile 2, by saying that whoever this is somebody that goes through a lot of changes in their life, and they're a very cyclical person that undergoes a lot of like transformations, and they're a little bit misunderstood by the people that are around them, or they feel misunderstood constantly. And I feel like you are one of the few people, if not the first, that genuinely understands them, or the person that they feel like you would understand them. And they really think about that because they sometimes feel like you could be the one, whether it be romantically, like platonically. Like, this is like twin flame soulmate vibes, you know? And it doesn't have to be like, oh, like romantic relationship. Like, it's just like this person feels like they could connect with you on a level that they haven't been able to with other people, because other people around them seem to be very superficial or so closed off to the point that they aren't even willing to connect, you know? This person feels like with you, like there's something worth it here, you know, something of longevity, something that could really bring them a lot of mental stimulation and a lot of daydreaminess, beauty, wholeness, you know, like wish fulfillment, you know, like girl, 1111 vibes. 1111 could be a number that you see a lot, and the number 3, but I just think that with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, this person thinks that you're very tenacious, very intelligent, very calculated, very smart, and they really admire you for it. They really respect you for it, and they really respect that you seem to share a lot of the same values and goals that they do, you know? They feel like you're very much on the same page as them, and they really appreciate that about you. And they also find you to be a little bit secretive, and I feel like it kind of stresses them out because they never feel like they have the upper hand with you simply because you already know, you know? You're just like, you're not somebody that can just be played with, you know? They know that you're not somebody that you can just run up on, like I've been saying, and you're not somebody that's just going to, like, take whatever, you know? Like, you're very discernful, and you're somebody that has a strong judgment, and you're not afraid to criticize and shoot things down because you know your worth, and you're not somebody that's just gonna be like, oh, you know, like, I'll take it, I'll settle, you know? Like, girl, like, do you see this card? Like, this is beautiful. You're just the kind of person that's like, if it's not the way that I want it to be, then I don't want it at all. And I feel like this person definitely recognizes this about you, and they love it about you because you get this vibe that they haven't been able to find other people getting, you know? And I think that with the light card, that you just, like, you bring so much beauty and so much light to their eyes, you know? You might have very beautiful eyes to them, honestly. But yeah, especially with the tandem bicycle. I think that you know when this person's thinking about you, just trust, because they seem to have a very potent energy, and they're very good at manifesting you or vice versa. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I don't do readings this long ever. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the Black Lion Tarot and this piece of citrine, this is going to be your reading for who is thinking about you and why. Like, what are they thinking about you? So anyways, before we get into the tarot, I do have quite a few oracle decks today that I want to hop right into. So yeah, we're going to start out with the Divine Muses. But, oh my gosh, Pile 3, it's like midnight right now. I don't know why I'm still up. Usually, or as of late, I've been asleep by now, but like, I don't know. I'm just like, I want to keep going. Okay. Anyways, who is thinking about Pile 3? Who is thinking about Pile 3? Okay, we have Solar Feminine. So I've been pulling up the guidebook for this deck in the past 2 piles, and I always gush about the guidebook that comes with this deck because it is seriously so good. It's like book. Like, we've been over this. Like, you guys know if you have seen this. Anyways, I'm looking for this one. Oh my gosh, I never know where it is. There it is. Okay, Solar Feminine, brave, brilliant, compassionate leadership. The Solar Feminine is the inverse of the Lunar Masculine. In the Lunar Masculine card, we see a dominant, resolute, and patriarchal energy that is shaped by nurturing and creative forces. In the Solar Feminine, we have an intuitive, loving, and maternal force that is shaped by courage and action. Essentially, these 2 archetypes are a combination of the yin and yang, or feminine and masculine energies that are described in the East. This duality is reflected in the moon and sun, night and day, passive and active, dark and light, cold and hot, etc. The Solar Feminine card shows that a unique blending of these energies is happening. I think that's really interesting. See what I mean? Like, I feel like, I just love it. But with all being said, I think it's interesting that it brought up the Lunar Masculine. So I feel like whoever it is that is coming through here could be somebody that, like, could be like your Divine Masculine, or could be your Divine Feminine, based on whichever one that you identify more with, or based on the one that you feel like they identify more with. And I just feel like, I don't know, like, whoever this person is definitely somebody that you feel like are 2 peas in a pod with you. But I also feel like there's this kind of layer to this connection, or whatever it is that you guys share. It seems as if though, like, a lot of it is shared on, like, an emotional or spiritual level, you know? And I just feel like a lot of this connection is, like, it's very deep, and it's very, like, I don't know why I'm thinking about this in particular, but it makes me think of, like, when you plant 2 plants right next to each other and their roots get all tangled up. Like, I really do feel like that's kind of how far this connection goes. I feel like it's really deep. I already knew that this pile was going to be really intense because of the citrine and because of the black line tarot. Like, it's just the nature of the people that tend to pick this deck. And I just feel like for you guys especially, like, you guys are no exception. It seems as if though, like, the energies here are very intense and they are not in any way subtle, I feel. And I feel like whoever this person is could be kind of a traditionalist. I feel like depending on whichever energy they embody more, so like the feminine or the masculine, I'm not saying that they are like conforming to one or the other exclusively, but more so that, like, you know, whichever one they tend to lean more towards. But I do want to say that, like, I think it's interesting because I feel like I wanted to start the reading out with like who is thinking about you, but I feel like right off the bat it's just like, what are they thinking about you? And it's clear that whoever this is, they really see you as like their divine counterpart, or they see you as the person that kind of balances you out, or vice versa. It just seems as if though this is somebody that really balances you out, pile 3. Anyways, let's pull some more oracle cards here so we can extend upon this. Who is this person that is thinking about pile 3? Oh, we have ritual, the number 10, and the sweet corn. We also have Leo here. They could be a Scorpio rising, because with the number 10 and Leo, I'm pretty sure that's Scorpio risings because Leo in the 10th house. But they don't have to be a Scorpio rising. That's just like one of the rising signs. But generally here, I also feel like this is somebody who is very resourceful and somebody who is like very, like, they're just very good at cultivating, you know, they're very good at growing things, you know. Corn always just makes me think of crops, you know, like, girl, like, it doesn't get more classy than that. Like, it's just like, I don't know. We was growing corn before we even understood the name of corn. We were just like, this stuff. Anyways. Yeah, I also feel like that kind of goes back to the fact that this person does seem like a traditionalist, or this is just somebody who is just like very bent on things being the way that they are, in the sense that, like, this person doesn't seem like they like to change things or they seem to grow out of things. I feel like they cling on very tightly to things that they believe work, or they can even be a little bit proud in what they believe to work, you know. This sounds like the kind of person that is very against the futuristic age, or, you know, like, whatever futuristic means to you guys. To me, it means electric cars and like card readers. I don't know. But yeah, this definitely just seems like a very analog kind of person, or somebody who is just like, they have a strong aversion for change. And I feel like they can be a little bit like attached to the past. I feel like they reminisce a lot. This person could have, like, could be very attached to their childhood, or they could just be like, they could just get very easily attached to people and like tunnel vision, you know. I feel like they can be a little bit obsessive in that sense. But also, I feel like this person definitely has like a very good reputation. I do think that they can be very magnetic and very likable, very boisterous too, maybe even a little bit loud. And that's for some of you, not all of you. I feel like this person is just kind of an extremist, or somebody who can take things a little bit too far. So they can be either really quiet or just like literally so rambunctious that like your eardrums are going to pop and explode, like, seriously. But I do feel like this person, if they are like a feminine, they could be somebody, or, you know, like, not like exclusively that, but you get what I'm saying. I think that's just what I'm going to refer to the energies as, simply because of the way that the reading started. I feel like, you know, if they lean more towards the feminine, I feel like they could be very receptive, very dreamy, and play the role very well, you know, of being like the, I don't even know how to describe it, you know. It's just like somebody who's very receptive, somebody who's very creative and allows things to come to them as opposed to going out and getting them. And then, you know, if they lean more towards the masculine, I feel like they could be like very chivalrous, you know, very go-getter, and whatever else you want to associate masculine with, or like masculinity with. But yeah, I feel like both of you guys are kind of coming through in this reading, simply because it seems as if though it's like a 2-in-1 deal, or that, like, you know, like, not to say that like you are defined by this person or vice versa, but more so it seems as if though like your energies are so intertwined that it feels as if though like this person seriously like if you get them, you also get a part of you, you know? And I feel like this isn't necessarily the fact that, like, you guys are always together or something like that, but more so like there's pieces of you in this person, there's pieces of them in you, you know, something like that. Just because it seems as if though like this connection is so detailed and so intense, very passionate too, you know. And it doesn't matter if it's like romantic or not. I feel like for some of you it could even just be like a best friend, you know, or it could just be like, you know, it's just like it's giving soulmate, it's giving that kind of vibe, you know. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like romantic, you know. I just feel like at the very least this is just somebody that you are very fond of, and somebody that I definitely do feel like you have history with, you know. And I just feel like this guy kind of goes a bunch of different ways, you know. And I feel like this person is also like, I don't know why, but they could be a foodie or somebody that really likes eating. I don't know, like I was just thinking about corn. I was like, dang, corn sounds good. Anyways, I also feel like two more things just came through. I feel like this person, like, I'm getting acquired taste. So I feel like this person can be kind of finicky. I feel like this is definitely the kind of person that's like, either you're with me or against me, or it's like, if you don't like me, you know, I just feel like this person can't do something unless they're 100% like obsessed or like really passionate about it, you know. I feel like they lose focus very easily on things that don't completely intrigue them. So I feel like they really like things to be very all-consuming with them, or they really like when things really solicit all of their time and energy, you know, and especially when they want it to. I just feel like this is a very intense and magnetic person. Somebody who really just like does things of purpose, you know. Everything this person does is very intentional. And they're very like, they take their job very seriously, you know, and in any sense of the case, you know, they take being a friend very seriously, they take being a lover very seriously, they take, you know, like being an employee very seriously, they take anything that they sign up for or anything that they, you know, pull up for very seriously, you know. They're not someone who likes to joke around very much, and I do think that this person may be a little bit serious, a little bit too serious, maybe even at times a little bit uptight. But I also feel like that doesn't mean that this person doesn't know how to let loose and have fun, you know? It's more so that, like, when it comes down to business, this person is really on their A game and they're not playing games, you know? Like, they're not someone who's just trying to, like, goof off or anything, especially when it comes to their career. I do feel like they take their career very seriously, especially with that 10th house Leo energy. It's like they don't even have to have that placement, but it's just that the fact that that energy is present here at all, it's really giving me the fact that this person is somebody who takes great pride in what they do and what they're trying to accomplish. I do think that this is a visionary and somebody who is very daydreamy, somebody who is always kind of looking for the next best thing. But I also feel like this person can really focus on what is next all the time instead of just like sitting down and kind of enjoying what's going on around them, you know, and enjoy what they have worked for. So I definitely do think that this person can be a little bit like, sorry, there's like a gnat, but I do feel like this person can be a little bit of an extremist or take things a little bit too far. I feel like this is the kind of person that doesn't know when to stop, whatever way you want to apply that. And I feel like if you guys do happen to be no contact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the reasons. I would say that as we get deeper into the reading, it'll kind of make more sense as to whether or not you were actually in contact with this person. But for now, I will say that energy is a little bit ambiguous, so apply it however it resonates. So yeah, let's get into some more oracle decks here. I have 5 today. I have so many. But yeah, I feel like this person is just like a very resourceful person and somebody who is truly a survivor, you know? And somebody who can really just like make anything out of nothing. This person's very powerful and very good at manifesting. Who is this person that's thinking about pile 3? We also have Noble. This person seems really stubborn, you guys. I feel like everyone's kind of stubborn in their own way, but this person, seriously, I feel like when they have their mindset on something, there's literally no changing it. But I also feel like there's this kind of like, by the way, we do have Taurus here, and then number 60, so they could have maybe Taurus on the 6th house. Maybe they'd be Sagittarius rising, because 6 and 0, like together is 6. Or they could have Leo on the 6th house. or these placements could be some of your placements, however it resonates. But, you know, regardless of the case, once again, I do think that this person follows a very strict routine. This is somebody who really takes their life step by step. I really don't think that this is somebody that likes being rushed. I feel like this is they're a very slow moving person, and not in a bad way, but more so that they really do take the time to get all the corners. I think that maybe they don't like to be timed, or they get really stressed out when they feel like they're running out of time with something. I wouldn't be surprised if this has also played a role in this situation here and why they're thinking about you. It could be that they feel rushed with you. It could be something else. But I do want to say that, like, time is just definitely something that this person has a very peculiar relationship with, simply because they don't like to feel like they don't have enough. And I feel like maybe this person can really suffer from scarcity mindset at times. Maybe they'll feel like, oh, like, if I don't have this amount of money, or if I don't have this much food, or, you know, what if I don't have enough time with the, you know what I mean? I feel like this person is constantly planning for something, or I feel like this person can come off as like, oh, like, I got everything under control, but deep down they are in fact worried, and they don't know how to be more sure of themselves, and they are in fact panicking about what's up next, you know? I feel like they do want to live a predictable life, and I do think that that plays all back into the fact that they are a little bit of a traditionalist, or somebody who doesn't like to change functions in their life too quickly, you know? This person just does not seem like they go through changes very quickly. And I feel like this person can drive more progressive or more movement-oriented personalities absolutely insane. I feel like this person, seriously, like, the fact that you can't move them is just like, it drives them in, like, it could drive anyone insane. Anyone that, like, wants to get a move on with their life, oh my gosh, I cannot even imagine. But I do think like, with all being said, I do think that that kind of, like, doubles back into the fact that, like, they are so reliable. They're very strong, and they're very kind, and they're very, like, what's the word? Like, magnanimous, or, like, you know, just very forgiving, you know? And I feel like, you know, despite the fact that maybe they'll hang on to things, I do think that with time they do come to terms with a lot of things. I think that this person, they take a while to accept things, but once they do, it truly is done and dusted, you know? I think that, like, when this person forgets, or, like, forgives and forgets, like, at that point, everyone should have forgiven and forgotten, or, like, forgave and forgotten, simply because it really does take this person a very long time, but once they do, it truly is, like, the end of a chapter, you know? And in multiple people's lives, like, this person's energy is really just that potent. It seems as if though they really do dictate the energies around them. So yeah, some more oracle cards. What is this person? Who is this person that is thinking about pile 3? We have forgive. Oh wow. That's a little ironic, don't you guys think? I don't know. Yeah, I do think that this person is always worrying, and I do think that this person is just like, I almost wonder if this connection, like, you guys aren't in contact, because, like, with the energy of forgiveness, maybe you did something to them that would require them to forgive you, or they did something that would require, like, you to forgive them, you know? It really doesn't matter whoever it is that's forgiving who. It's more so the fact that it does seem as if though something has happened here, a major event. I was looking, I forgot to say with the ritual. I didn't even acknowledge, like, the ritual aspect of that card. But I do think that this person could also be very, like, they could really believe in, like, that everything happens for a reason, or they could just be someone who really plays into, like, placebo. They could even be religious, spiritual. They might be very interested in things like this, you know, like the occult and reading tarot and things like that. I do feel like maybe they aren't too educated on it, but I do think that they're very open-minded to these things. I feel like it's surprising, like, they're very open-minded, yet at the same time very stubborn and very criticizing, even a little bit discriminating. I don't know, I find it to be a little bit ironic because, like, this person seems to be, like, a mixed bag, you know? They seem to be a trail mix of opinions and feelings. And I feel like this person can sometimes even be a hypocrite or a little bit self-contradicting, which probably, once again, has played into why this connection may be, like, suffocated, or why this connection may be, like, not as strong as it used to be. And I just feel like this person has a lot to learn in terms of getting over their ways and moving on with themselves, you know? like, I'm just like, oh, where does this not even come from? But with the no bull and that Taurus energy, I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Adele, and I'm specifically thinking of I Drink Wine in the line where she's like, so I hope I learn to get over myself. Like, I feel like this is definitely the kind of person that needs to get over themselves. I just feel like this person is just too stuck in their ways, or sometimes can be too stuck in their ways, you know, and really get up in their head about things, you know. I just feel like a lot of their problems would be solved if they would just like communicate their feelings, or if they would just be a little bit more transparent about their perspectives, thoughts, and emotions, you know. Of course, you know. But yeah, I do think that this person does want your forgiveness. That's probably why they're thinking about you. Or like, you know, if it's the other way around where like you want their forgiveness, that's what they're probably thinking about. But I do want to say, like, I feel like it's them that wants your forgiveness. It doesn't have to be that way, obviously, but you know, that's just like, I feel like there's more of you watching this pile that leans towards that category as opposed to the other one. Anyways, let's pull one more oracle card. Need some keywords up in here. Oh my gosh, you should have seen it pile 3. In pile 2, I like dropped this whole deck. It was crazy, and I was like sitting there picking them up. Oh, so embarrassing. Who is this person thinking about pile 3? Who is this person thinking about pile 3? Okay. We have child. So we have all the fixed signs here. So we have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Yeah, I do think that this person is a little bit of an attention seeker. I feel like some things that they do can be a little bit ostentatious, or very just like, they're like a very conspicuous person. And I do think that they're a little bit of like a clout chaser, or somebody that like sometimes gets blinded by others' appreciation for them or others' admiration. And I just feel like if you were in a relationship with this person, you know, and this is for those of you that were in a relationship with them, you know, it doesn't have to be romantic or anything of that, but like, actually no, just like objectively speaking, this just seems like the kind of person that like gets into a relationship, but they still aren't opposed to receiving attention outside of the relationship, you know. And it's not like they're gonna cheat or something, but it's more so like they just love all of that validation and flattery, you know. And I just feel like it can borderline be narcissistic. I think that like this person could really suffer with that. But like, that's for some of you, not all of you. I'd say that's like a very specific message. So only take that if it resonates, especially with how like crazy narcissism can be. But you know the vibes. I definitely do think that this person is just like very proud, you know, and they stand very tall in their life. And they're somebody who is just like, even if they don't have very much, they act like they have it all. You gotta admire them for their confidence, honestly, pile 3. Like, I know you know. But with the child card, I almost wonder if for some of you, like, a child is involved. Like, perhaps they wanted to have kids with you, if that's what the relationship is like, or if they are trying to have a kid with somebody else, or if they are worried that they have impregnated somebody, or that they are pregnant. Something of that nature, you know? And I feel like it all kind of comes back to the fact that what they are thinking about with you, I do think that they may be thinking about you because, like, oh, like, what if I accidentally, like, maybe there's pregnancy scares, or, like, maybe they're imagining what y'all's kids would look like, you know? Just something of that nature. I also feel like this person can act like kind of a child. It doesn't, like, maybe not in the worst way. Maybe for some of you, yes, it can be in a bad way. But, like, generally speaking here, I just feel like this person's very childlike and very fun to be around. Very, very sweet and very understanding of people's more innocent desires, you know? I feel like this person isn't that discriminating against those that have, like, weird desires or childish desires, you know? Like, I feel like this person could literally be, like, 30 still playing with Play-Doh, you know? It's just, like, they don't care. And I think that they are very shameless in a way. And that's definitely very admirable about them. And I think they also have a lot of energy. I feel like they have a lot of just like, they have a lot of gas in the tank, you guys. And I feel like this person is just always like striving to improve, or always striving to kind of go over the details in their life to kind of improve upon things, which is very ironic because like they really do spend a lot of time smoothing out the corners in what they have already covered, as opposed to just kind of using that energy to kind of expand and kind of, you know, grow. But I feel like this person gets too comfortable at times, maybe even like very complacent, and I feel like it drives some people insane. Anyways, let's get into the tarot here. Whew. I love how shiny this is. Like, seriously? It's like the shiniest gilding I've ever seen on any tarot deck. I'm serious, you guys. I'm also gonna have to be careful because this deck does depict nudity, and like I don't want YouTube to like ruin my whole life. You guys know the vibes. You guys know. What are they thinking about pile 3? What is this person thinking about pile 3? What is this person thinking about pile 3? Okay, we have the Hanged Man. We have 10 of Wands. Sorry, just like... Anyways. We have Judgment. I'll use the crystal. We have the Tower. Oh yeah. Girl, we've been new. And we have King of Wands. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles. I must say, pile 3, this person sees you as very resourceful, and like, they really like the way that you carry yourself. There's just like a lot of things that you do that they agree with, but sometimes their ego just doesn't allow them to agree with it. Like, at least openly, you know? But I will say with the Hanged Man and 10 of Wands and the Tower, like, I really do feel like you're not in contact with this person for a reason. But I must say that, like, what it is that went down is to be defined by you guys, simply because I feel like there's, like, a million different things that could have happened from person to person watching this pile that could be... is to the reason why you are not talking to this person anymore. But I must say, like, this person is definitely thinking about it a lot. They're thinking about the specific event that went down. Like, there is definitely a major event here. It could have just been in regards to, like, how they feel and how they carry themselves, you know, and kind of like about their self-growth, you know. I do feel like that's kind of like the basis of it all, you know. Like, it could have been about, you know, more petty things, like, you know, like, whatever you want to deem as, like, a petty thing that could have kind of snowballed into something bigger. But, like, generally speaking here, I just feel like this person is a little bit stuck in their ways, and I feel very confident in saying that because of all the fixed energy. So it definitely seems as if though this person is very stuck in their ways, a little bit prideful, and just very unwilling to change, you know. Or if they are willing to change, they just, like, they're not very good at going about it, and they're not very good at actually implementing things into their life that will solicit the necessary changes that will make them more suitable for this connection or make them just a better person overall, you know? And not to say that this is a bad person, but it's just that they've definitely made some mistakes simply because they let their pride get in the way, or they kind of allowed their own stubbornness and fear of things to kind of get in the way, and I feel like they got very, like, stuck, you know? I'm thinking about this weird... I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but I'm thinking about this scene from Tom and Jerry in the Nutcracker Tale where Nellie... It was like this toy horse, and Jerry was, like, pulling on her, like, drawstring that, like, made her talk, and she started stopping, and Jerry was on a balloon, or, like, hanging onto a balloon, and he was, like, moving away, you know, and he ended up floating away, and Nellie got left behind because she was too scared to keep going, you know, or, like, to fly with Jerry on the balloon. So I just feel like I just did such a weird job of explaining that. But basically what I'm trying to say here is I feel like this person, it seemed as if though they got left behind in some aspect of their life, not just by you, but by other people. But obviously, like, this reading isn't about, like, people outside of this connection. But I do want to say, like, you aren't the only one. And I just feel like this person's unwillingness to change and kind of face some of their fears has definitely caused them to be very stagnant and to remain comfortable. But we all know that comfort isn't always the vibe, you know? I must say, like, this person really thinks, like, they really think about you a lot. They think that you're a very hard worker, and I feel like for some of you, this person also thinks that you're kind of indecisive with the Hanged Man. Not to, like, be petty, but I don't know. I just like speaking my mind. Anyways, with the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it's clear that this person also sees you as, like, a very comforting presence. They feel very safe with you, and they really love the way that you carry yourself in that sense. They also feel like you have they really think about your sense of humor. I feel like with the Judgment card combined with the Queen of Pentacles, it definitely is giving me the fact that they probably think a lot about fun, fleeting moments of you, or they miss the earthly fun that they had with you, because I just feel like you are somebody that's very down to earth, and they definitely see that about you. And I just feel like they, wonder how they can implement that into their life, you know, being more down to earth, whatever that means to them, but also just being a little bit more grounded and more comfortable within the circumstances, because I feel like this person, like I said, worries a lot, you know. And I just think that this person, like, the Queen of Pentacles is mainly giving me Taurus energy, so you could be a Taurus, but you could also be a Capricorn and Virgo. And, like, even if you don't have those placements, it's just like, I feel like when an earth sign is truly done with something, they're, like, done, you know. Like, you can't convince a Taurus to go back to somewhere that they don't want to go back to. It's just not gonna happen. That's just, like, you can try, but it's not gonna work, you know. It's like a waste of time. And I definitely do think that this person feels that way, you know. They feel like you're never gonna come back, or that, like, you really are, like, done, you know, or that you really are just, like, fed up in so many different ways. I think that with the Ten of Wands and the Hanged Man, I definitely do think that this person, like, they really think about how many burdens they may have put on you, or how many responsibilities that they put on you, because it seems as if though now within your absence they are kind of realizing a lot of the things that they're kind of having to face, and it's a lot more intense because they don't have you to kind of, like, alleviate the pain a little bit, or to kind of help you, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person is also turning to different vices, if you know what I mean, in order to cope. But I just feel like this person is having such a hard time letting you go, or they're having such a hard time accepting the connection for what it is right now. And I feel like they really do want your forgiveness, or there's just something about forgiveness that they crave, and I feel like they really want things to be normal again, or they want things to be as peaceful as they used to be, you know? And I just feel like this person is taking a lot of time right now to reflect, or to kind of think things through. But that is not to say that they are making nearly as much progress as you think they are. And the only reason I'm saying that is because this is somebody that is very full of themselves, you know. It can be very prideful. So I feel like this person is constantly at odds with themselves in terms of, you know, actually doing the work on themselves and trying to kind of, you know, improve and become a better person. So I feel like there are times where they get really stuck with their ego and their feelings, because once again, they don't really know how to differentiate these things from each other, and to kind of organize their energies and discipline themselves properly, you know. Very stubborn energy. With the King of Wands too, I also feel like they think about you because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they find you very alluring, they found you very attractive, they really liked your energy, you know, they really liked your confidence and the way you carried yourself. And I want to say, like, with the whole attraction thing, it could be romantic, but it could also just be, like, they could see how several people would be attracted to you, or they can see that, like, so many people are drawn to you. And I feel like with the Tower card, there's, like, this worry that you've replaced them, because they know that you would have no problem doing so, whether you believe that or not. I think that this person really, like, the reason why that they are the way that they are, you know, of, like, attention seeking and stuff like that, is I just feel like this person is always kind of subtly fishing for validation, or for, like, compliments, or whatever it may be, and kind of, like, being an attention seeker simply because they want to feel something within themselves that they feel like they can't feel, you know. And I feel like this person, like, got really blindsided and very greedy with the attention. That's probably why this connection is in the state that it's in, you know. And also, I feel like this person could be a little bit of, like, superstitious, because I see crows here. I think that this person may be a little bit of, like, a believer of things, you know, or, like, it definitely seems as if though, like, because I'm just thinking of them as, like, a very superstitious person, or somebody that believes things will work out the way that they need to. I feel like they definitely are the everything that needs to happen will happen kind of person, or everything happens for a reason. And I wouldn't be surprised, excuse me, by the way, I feel like they turn to these things because they feel like they have no choice, you know? I think that with the Tower card, they feel a great sense of like a great loss of control over this connection, or like over you in general and how you feel, you know? They feel like they really lost you in ways that they could have probably never imagined, you know? Maybe for a while they could have imagined, or maybe like they could have imagined it in some way, shape, or form. But with the Tower card, it's clear that the way that the connection is right now has definitely like, it's been like a lightning strike, you know? It's really shocked them. It's really taken them off their feet, you know? It like pulled the rug from underneath their feet. Especially with this Ten of Wands, like they feel very burdened without you, you know? And they're kind of realizing how much of the weight you carried, or how much of the weight and pain that you alleviated for them, you know? I think that maybe for some of you, this person could have been very codependent of you, or they put just way too much on you, you know? They just like, I do feel very confident in saying that they probably put you under a lot of pressure. I think that when you're not around this person, it's like, you know? Just because I feel like they can really be that draining and really that just like, I don't know, like keep thinking the word like annoying, like I just like, I'm starting to like feel agitated, you know? Like I feel like this is a very aggravating person, because I feel like the way that they can go about things in their life is just so much simpler, but they seem to like go above and beyond to cause even more problems, or to make things a little bit more complicated, simply because the route that they are trying to take is not as like, how do I say, like, there's a shortcut, but they always take the long way, you know? Because it's what they're comfortable with. Yeah, we also have Two of Swords here, and Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, and Four of Cups. Yeah, I definitely do think that this person really wants to reach out to you again. I feel like, and when I say that, I don't think that this person is immediately planning on it. I do think that they're still in the midst of kind of coping with things, and kind of like in that phase of like, oh my gosh, like things are just ended, like should I just like fix it, you know? But I do think that they want to, with time, come back to you, you know? Or to kind of pull up, you know? But they know that they can't just like, you know, like come at you sideways or anything like that. And I just feel like with the Four of Cups and the Knight of Cups together, like girl, like I just feel like the Knight of Cups does give the reading more of a romantic edge. So I do feel like there's kind of an emphasis on the fact that this could be a romantic connection that we are inquiring about. But I also feel like it just goes to show that like this person does want to display something emotional to you, or they want to make an emotional offering to you, one that would maybe fix things, or one that would maybe get you out of like, or just like get this connection out of this rut that it's in right now, if you want to consider it a rut. And I think that with the Hanged Man and the King of Wands, this person is clearly thinking about the most extravagant way of doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if they consistently daydream, or like have dreams about like coming back to you, or like having you back in their life. Maybe this person's had a lot of those dreams where they kind of like, they have dreams about like being with you, or like, you know, spending more time with you, but then they wake up and that's just like not the case anymore, and it like devastates them, and they're just like, oh my gosh, like can I go back to sleep so I can like experience that again, you know? And I just feel like this person is just like, they're really going through a lot right now. I think that like now that they're having to carry all of their weight on like by themselves, it's just like, it's making them really have a lot of regrets, or at the very least they're just kind of realizing all the burdens that they're carrying right now. The Hanged Man, the Four of Cups, and Knight of Cups, like I just feel like that really does support the fact that they are probably really daydreaming about you, in the sense that like, oh, like can I make an offering to pile 3, or can I, you know, say something to pile 3, you know, can I reach out to them, or will they reach out to me, you know? I feel like they're low-key hoping that you would reach out to them, simply because like I said, they are a little bit prideful. And not even to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, you know, like you did, like you're the one that messed up, why should I be the one to reach out, you know? But it's just like, y'all know I wouldn't lie to you. I honestly feel the message is kind of fizzling out, so I think I'm just going to sum up your reading, pile 3, by saying that whoever this is, they're somebody that is definitely like your counterpart, or somebody that is just like almost like the polar opposite of you, if I will, or like if I had to say it. And I don't even know, like they're just like your polar opposite, and it definitely seems as if though they complement you, and they really compensate for your weaknesses, and vice versa, like you compensate for their weaknesses. They seem like a very stubborn person, very childlike, sometimes very immature, but at the same time very endearing, very wholesome, very fun to be around, very sweet. And I also think that they could be somebody that like really wants children, especially maybe with you, if that's the kind of connection, like I said, that it is. But like I said, I do think that this is leaning, like this has like kind of like a romantic edge to it, because we saw the Knight of Cups and just the nature of like this whole like forgiveness thing. This person is definitely thinking about you in the sense that like they're wondering what it would be like to talk to you again, you know, to like interact with you again and to connect with you again. And I think that they are really thinking about the events that have ensued, that has caused the relationship to be in the state that it's in right now. And it comes with a lot of regrets and a lot of shame and a lot of wanting, you know, like forgiveness and, you know, mending. And they definitely think of you as like a very stable individual, somebody like they feel like at times where you don't even need them, you know. And I feel like they see that like you're a lot better at coping with changes than they are, and they see you as like this visionary, and they think a lot about it because they're kind of just like they're thinking about like what you would do, and also just like how you, like they're thinking about how have you managed, you know, are you feeling the same things that they're feeling, you know, like did you move on already, and just kind of like those classic thoughts, because I do feel like this person can be a little bit of a simpleton, honestly. So I think their thoughts and the way that they kind of like do things can be a little bit like generic or very classic, you know. It doesn't really seem as if though this person is the brightest of the bunch, but not in a bad or derogatory way, but just more so like, once again, this person is definitely a traditionalist and somebody who has a very one-track mind, and somebody who thinks very like in a linear fashion. And I do think that they're just like thinking about you in general in terms of like your forgiveness, mending this connection, you know, like what has happened between the two of you that has led up to this point, you know, all this series of events. And they're just thinking about, you know, like their routines in general, because they don't really know how they're going to keep up with their life when they're constantly thinking about you, or when they're constantly just like maybe even hyperfixating on you and just not knowing where to kind of move forward and how to move forward, if I'm going to be honest. I think that right now they're still in shock. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. If you chose this piece of Labradorite and the Tarot of the Divine, this is going to be your reading for who is thinking about you and why. Like why are they thinking about you? You know, like what is on their mind in regards to you? Anyways, before we get into the tarot cards, I do have quite a few oracle decks today. Not like 5 million, but like just 5, you know. Anyways, so let's just get right into it. We're starting out the Divine Muses Oracle. So excited. Today's readings have definitely been really beefy. I was really surprised. I don't know. I should use more oracle decks more often, I guess. Who is thinking about Pile 4? Who is thinking about Pile 4? Okay, for your card, we have a Lattice of the Soul. Now, I must say, Pile 4, I've been pulling out the guidebook for this deck in the past 3 piles, and like I just feel like it'd be like wrong at this point to like not pull it out. But like seriously, I just love the context that is provided through the guidebook. I will never stop gushing about this guidebook. I'll probably use it like forever. I don't know. All right, here goes. Lattice of the Soul, Purification, Ablution, Spark of Light. I can't say that word. The Lattice of the Soul represents the albedo, or whitening phase of the alchemical process. Albedo is often called the aura or hour of gold, as we first encountered the seed of the new self following the decomposition in the blackening phase. We encounter purification after the death in... I can't say that word either. It is the washing away of the putrefied parts of ourselves which we no longer need to take with us on the path to wholeness. Yeah, I do feel like this person, they sound like kind of an extremist. Honestly, maybe at times they can even be a little bit self-destructive. I get heavy Scorpio energy, but it could also just be I feel like it could be any fixed sign really, but I will say there's an emphasis on Scorpio here, or just like Pluto in general. I must say that entry was a little bit sparse compared to the other ones, just because I only read the first paragraph. But I just think that generally speaking here, pile 4, I feel like whoever it is that's coming through here is definitely somebody that is going through a lot of changes. But I don't know what it is, but it doesn't really seem like they're very adept at overcoming a lot of these deeper things. I feel like at the time that you're watching this is when they're overcoming a lot of things in their life. I don't think that they embody that not true, but like, you know, that Scorpio energy of like constantly going through cycles and constantly going through death and rebirth, you know? I genuinely feel like this person, just like when you're watching this, it's like, excuse me, freak accident vibes where they're suddenly going through a lot in their life, you know? I feel like this person is also very like unprepared, or just somebody, I feel like they're just like, they're very unequipped, or they're a little bit dense, because like just the way like I was reading that entry, like I feel like it's a little bit interesting because I felt like no other entry I was reading like that in the past like 3 piles, simply because it just seems as if though like this person like struggles, or this person has trouble reading between the lines, no pun intended, lol, like LMFAO, like I'm screaming, crying, and throwing up on the floor right now. Anyways, like I just feel like this person is just like, all I'm hearing is like, I'm not amused, you know? I feel like this person is a little bit incapable of dealing with big changes in their life. But let's see here. We're gonna pull more oracle cards. Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Oh. We have Wisdom with Bay, and the number 22 and Leo. So they could be a Leo 4th house, because 2 and 2 is 4. 22 could also be a very significant number for you guys. So Leo 4th house would be Taurus rising, I believe. Yeah, it seems as if though like this person is very incapable of learning, or I feel like they're a little bit slow to learn things, because like just this like lattice of the soul vibe, it gives me like, it takes a while, you know, like it takes a while for a decomposition and death and things of that nature to kind of happen, you know? And I feel like this person maybe tries to brush over things, or they can get really sloppy with the rebirth process, you know? I just feel like this person is just very closed off energetically, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because like I'm feeling it to be very difficult to kind of pick up on what their vibe is and to kind of like see what's going on with them. And it's not because it's 1 a.m. you guys. Like seriously, like I just feel like this person is somebody that can be a little bit of a know-it-all too with the wisdom. Like I don't know, like this just feels like really pretentious and kind of like all over the place. So if it's like not resonating so far, I will say like either A, like just see like where things go like as we pull more oracle cards, or just like B, this might not be your pile, simply because it just seems like this person, they're the kind of person that like once you see their true colors, it's like, wow girl, you know? I also feel like this person can be a little bit materialistic, and the reason that I'm saying that is because, you know, with the bay leaves being here, it makes me think of like how people like burn bay leaves, or how people like, you know, do things with bay leaves to manifest more money. And I feel like people do that, like, or at least I've done that when I really like want money, you know? So I feel like this person can be a little bit impatient and a little bit forceful with their manifestation. They're definitely a very good manifester, and they're very powerful, and they're very strong, you know? But I feel like at times they can put a little bit too much onto material things, and with that being said, they can be a little bit of a workaholic, I feel, or somebody who just like works too much, you know what I'm saying? Like I just think this person like undergoes a lot of vicious cycles in their life, and it seems as if though like they're so incapable of like learning and growing at times, so much so to a point where it's like ridiculous. I keep hearing Love is a Game by Adele, where there's this line where she's like, it's so sad how incapable I am of learning to grow, or something like that, you know? And it's just like, I feel like this is so this person, you know? I feel like the only way that they're truly self-aware is that they realize that they have trouble growing and changing and kind of like, you know, taking up space and growing into themselves, essentially, you know? Like, I feel like there's just something about growth, there's just something about materialism, and how this person can sometimes be very shallow despite the fact that they're going through a lot of changes, but I feel like they run away from their problems too much. Yeah. Let's pull some more oracle cards. I don't know. I feel like this is definitely a very lovely person, though. I do think that they are good company. I do think that they are a sweetheart. Like, that is like an undeniable, like Leo energy, and like that, like just like any fixed energy, especially that Taurus energy I mentioned. They're definitely very charming. They're very likable, but I just feel like they're that kind of person where like you wouldn't guess that they're going through what they're going through unless you really like you caught them in the back rooms, you know, or like you caught them in the backstage or behind the curtains. I do think that this person is definitely going through a lot of ugly stuff in their life, and they're facing a lot of their demons constantly. And I feel like a big part of their life goal, or a big part of their journey in this lifetime, is definitely for them to overcome a lot of the shadows that they carry with them, you know? And it could be from childhood. Who is this person thinking about? Or like, who is the person thinking about? Pile. Or who is this person? We have inside looking out. Yeah, whoever this is, they are definitely in a very meditative stage of their life right now. They're going through a lot of things, and they also just seem like to be the kind of person that really, I don't know, it's a little bit ironic because I feel like at times they can really rush through things, and this can be kind of a metaphor for like how they function as a person. I feel like they either A, really rush through things and really just like don't think about things twice, or they literally move at a snail's pace and really take the time to pay attention to all the painstaking details, you know? And I feel like with that being said, this person can be kind of a hypocrite or kind of contradict themselves very, like, a lot. And I just think that this person could also be like a homebody. This person definitely seems to be the kind of person. They could also be like a night owl. They probably don't have like that consistent of a sleep schedule. This person could also really like reptiles. I don't know. I keep thinking about snakes too. But yeah, I definitely do think that this person is undergoing a lot of changes right now. I also feel like they're a very quiet person. It doesn't seem like they speak very much, you know? I just feel like they're just like, their actions speak louder than their words, and I just feel like that's where trouble comes in, when their words don't really line up with their actions, or they say one thing and do another things, and it's just like, your actions are speaking so much more, you know? And I feel like depending on the state of this connection here, or, you know, how this person has, like, what their place is in your life right now, it just seems as if though, like, it could really be a roll of dice depending on, like, what timeline you guys are on with this person, because it does seem linear. Like, I do think that this person, like, a lot of how this connection pans out and a lot of how you interact with this person, how things seem to go down, really is based on how they can change and how they can, like, decompose themselves and essentially get rid of what no longer serves them, you know? And I feel like that may evoke a lot of frustration in some of you guys, because like I said, this person doesn't seem to be the most consistent in terms of growing and learning and moving on with themselves, you know? And I just feel like this person was like praised a lot as a kid, or it just seems as if though this person has received an excessive amount of attention for doing quite literally the bare minimum, you know? I don't know, like, I just feel like there could be a lot of different interpretations for why this person moves at the paces that they move in, but I just think that there's a bunch of examples, but I think the baseline is that this person is very stubborn and a little bit prideful. I'm hearing that one song by Paramore called Ain't It Fun, you know? I just feel like this person, now that they are in the position that they're in, or now that they are now forced to kind of learn and grow a lot more on their own, it seems as if though they've really entered a hermit mode. I do think that they tried to connect with you at one time, but I feel like a lot of it got put on you. This sounds like a lot of the other piles,
or at least like pile 2 or pile 1. Pile 1 or 2. But maybe you were drawn to those piles, but I must say that there's a little bit of an edge to this pile because there seems to be a lot more like tired energy here. Like, I don't know. Let me see what else. Who is this? Oh my gosh. Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Who is this person thinking about pile 4? We have support. Yeah. I do think that this person is a very good supporter. I think that this person is actually like, they're very supportive. I think that this is the kind of person where when you really need them, or when you really are just like, you have nobody to turn to, I do think that this person's there. I do think that this person pulls up when it's either them or nothing, you know? They do show up to the occasion when it really counts, but I just feel like that's kind of bare minimum, you know? I feel like a lot of times this person has been cut a lot of slack for, you know, pulling up with their bare minimum. And I do want to say, like, this is probably not your doing. I do think that this is a series of events that have occurred way before you met this person, which is probably, like, they're uprooting a lot of these things in their life right now. I do want to say that you may be in connection with this person, or at least in some way able to contact this person. This doesn't feel like no contact, but it does feel like there have been boundaries set up here that kind of prevents this person from getting a little bit too close to you, or vice versa, you getting too close to them. I feel like one or more of you struggles with boundaries, so this is probably like a huge experiment, honestly. But I must say, like, this person is like, they're a little bit of an enigma, you know? I feel like I haven't been doing that great of a job of explaining what kind of person this is or who this is. I feel like I'm relying a lot on the fact that you probably know who this person is, simply because I feel like the energies are very distinct. And I just feel like the way that you have dealt with this person and the situation that you're probably tangled up in right now in regards to this person is very peculiar. It's very unique, if I will say. Or, if you will, I don't know. I just feel like this person is just like, this is too distinct of a connection, and this is too just kind of like obvious in order for it to just be like, oh, like, you know, like maybe it's this person, you know? Like, I genuinely am counting on the fact that this person, like, the way that you're having to interact with this person and the way that this person, like, the state of the connection right now is just like, it's just like weird, you know? Like, and I know that, not like weird in like a bad way. It could be in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Alright, let's pull one more oracle card here. I hope it's resonating so far. Pile 4. Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Who is this person thinking about pile 4? Okay, I guess you got 2 of these cards. We have olive branch and fishhook. So we have 8, the number 8 in Aquarius, and then we have the number 2 again with Scorpio. So much fixed energy. But I must say, like, the fixed energy is a little bit different here. I feel like this person wants to change, or they want, like, novelty, but it seems as if though they can't. I don't know. Anyways, with the fishhook card, it definitely seems as if though, like, this person is somebody that plays victim a lot, or they just, like, it seems as if though, like, they're the kind of person that constantly feels like things are happening to them as opposed to for them, you know? I feel like there's a lot of things that... I feel like this is the kind of person where you, like, tell them, like, don't get back with your ex, and then they, like, do it, and then later on they're like, oh my gosh, they, like, sucked, you know? Like, they lied to me again, and you're just like, girl, I literally told you so, you know? Like, that's the kind of person this is. Or, like, I feel like they're the kind of person where... I don't know, this is so annoying. But you'll say, like... I feel like this person is going to do, like, something really bad, and then that person does something really bad, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I always, like, thought that they were gonna do something bad. I cannot believe I was right, you know? And it's like, girl, I literally said that first, and you just, like, weren't listening, you know? Like, I just feel like this person is super stubborn, and they are just not very quick to admit or give other people credit, simply because they just want praise and they want attention, you know? And sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, you know? I feel like this person just really wants the spotlight, or this person constantly, like, they just, like,
they're always competing with people, or it seems as if though like they just always want to be the one that's like on top, you know. I feel like this person can be very insecure very quickly, and I feel like once that happens they can become very manipulative and very like just like taker vibes, you know. Like it's giving like chopping down trees in Minecraft but not replanting the saplings. Like how can you do that, you know? Like that's just like that's like monster behavior. Like that's just so like not green of you. You know, like I just feel like this person is very comfortable with taking, but when it comes to giving, I feel like they do the bare minimum, but I feel like the way that they dress it up is just like it's very like manipulative, you know? And you know, I feel like that's like a very sensitive message. So if that isn't resonating, do feel free to leave it. But I do want to say like it's not that this person, like maybe for some of you guys this person isn't completely manipulative, but I will say across the board I feel confident in saying that if this person wants to manipulate or if this person wants to play dirty, they are very much capable of doing so. And I feel very confident in saying that simply because of the way that this person seems to be the way that they're built, you know. They're just like always going through changes, and they're always going through metamorphosis, or they're always in the midst of shedding an old skin. But I just feel like said skin is just one that they've been shedding for a very long time now, because I don't think that they're meant to, it doesn't seem as if though they are meant to shed off several skins, but more so take a very long time to shed a few skins, if you get what I'm saying. Anyways, let's get into the tarot here and see what they're thinking about you, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can describe them well enough. Okay. What is this person thinking about in terms of pile 4? What is this person thinking about in terms of pile 4? Okay. For your cards, we have 4 of coins. Ooh, yeah. This person is refusing to let you go. Honestly, let's get into it. Pardon me. Let me pull the cards first. 9 of Wands. Yeah, I definitely... Okay, we have Page of Wands. 4 of Cups. And then the Sun. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Wands. Alright, yeah, I totally see how this reading is coming together now. I feel like the tarot cards have definitely made a lot of sense. So, first of all, I just want to say, like, this definitely seems like the kind of person, like, this doesn't have to be the case, but it just seems like the kind of person that wants to restrict others but be free themselves, you know? The kind of person that wants to know all of your dirty secrets but at the same time wants to maintain their boundaries and their secrets, you know? The kind of person that like wants you to be like talking to only them while they are talking to multiple people, you know? And it's just like, it doesn't matter if they're actually doing that, but that's just like the kind of person that they seem like, you know? With the 4 of Coins and the 9 of Wands, this person really doesn't want to let you go, but at the same time, they really don't want to restrict themselves, honestly. And I know, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna kill me. I just, you know, like, I feel like with the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck, this person is, if this is a romantic connection, this person is fiercely attracted to you. And honestly, like, even if this is like a friendship, like, I just want to say, like, this person is really attracted to you, you know? If the shoe fits, I just think that this person is just, like, they're very drawn to you and they really love, like, just, like, you as a person, you know? Like, they just really love the way you're built. And I also feel like they really love your creativity. I think that you, like, have this way of expressing and this way of kind of doing things that is just very, like, unique to you. And, like, they really notice that about you. And I feel like they kind of want to gatekeep you. Like, with the... Sorry, it sounds like I said gatekeep. With the 4 of Coins and all this fixed energy, I definitely do think that this person has quite the grip on you. A comfortable grip, if I must say. And I think that you understand this. I think that with the 9 of Wands, this person, like, they're very terrified of you getting away, or they just, like, they can't fathom you actually getting away from them, you know, or they can't fathom you kind of, like, having options, you know, especially with 2 number 4s here. Like, I feel like this person sees you as endgame vibes, but I also feel like they don't want it to be, like, too soon, you know. And with the Sun card and the Ace of Wands, I feel like they're thinking a lot about the good times with you. I know that's like very cliche, but genuinely, I just feel like with the inside looking out, they're definitely pondering right now, or they're definitely like really spaced out and like at the time that you're watching this, like just this general time period. Like they're very much thinking about it, and I feel like with the Nine of Wands, they're a little bit paranoid because they don't know where this connection is heading right now, and that's definitely really stressing them out because they don't really know what to do about it, pile 4. And I also feel like Cancer energy could be relevant here just because of the Four of Cups, and we have 2 number 4s, so that, it's no, Cancer is number 4 zodiac sign, and then we do have Aries energy. I feel like all cardinal signs are kind of present here, so Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. Special emphasis on Cancer and Aries though. And I just feel like this person, and of course we have all the fixed signs, I just feel like this person is just like, with the Page of Wands, they're definitely a little bit childish or a little bit like naive in a way. I do feel like it's just like interesting, because in the first half of the reading, I feel like the energy was like very blocked and very like simpleton vibes. But I feel like as you get more and more into this reading, and as you get to know this person more and more, you realize that they're very complex, and you realize that there's a lot more to them that meets the eye. But I just feel like the way that they kind of express it is a little bit like, you would think that this person is literally just like, their brain's like empty. Like it's giving Patrick from SpongeBob, But I feel like as you break them down, you realize that there's a lot more going on beneath the surface that they're just not expressing, simply because it seems as if though they really struggle to express it, or that they really don't want to express it because they're afraid that it'll consume them. Because with the Sun card and the Ace of Wands, I really do think that they just like to feel good, I wouldn't be surprised if this person has some really strong vices, or if they just like, they cling on to things, or they get attached to things because they don't want to face things alone, or they don't want to deal with their inner demons, and I feel like this person has definitely been running away from different things, and I just feel like this person is so all over the place, pile 4. Like whatever it is that they're going through, it is so turbulent. And it is just so, like, they're doing such a bad job at coping with it, if I'm going to be honest with you, pile 4. And I think that this. I don't know, like, I just feel like this pile just, like, it feels like a mess. This person feels like a mess. And, let me see. We also have Justice. Yeah, we have that Libra energy. And the Empress. With that Libra and Taurus. With that Venus energy. And we also have the Nine of Cups. I want to talk about this card because this particular card in this particular deck is actually very interesting because it depicts like this person that changed, I think it was a man that changed his gender, or they, like changed themselves in order to be with somebody, I think it was a man that changed himself to be a woman so that he could be with this woman that is only interested in women. And the reason I'm mentioning that is just because, like, this person definitely seems to be the kind of person that, like, would change themselves to be with somebody else, or to kind of conform to things around them, or they will simply play dirty to get what they want, and I feel like they have played dirty to get what they want. And I just feel like that there's, like, such a frustrating energy about this person, especially with the Labradorite. Honestly, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's just so little to say about this person, pile 4. Like, I just feel like your reading is going to be a lot shorter because there's just not much to say about this person, And I just feel like their energy is so blocked off too. Like, they are seriously so closed off. But I will say that the way that they're thinking about you, a lot of it has to do with just like daydreaming about you, daydreaming about all that's happened between the two of you, and daydreaming about the times that like things weren't the way that they are now. And I also feel like they get very upset when they are I feel like they get very agitated when they daydream about you, because I feel like it comes from a place of insecurity, and I feel like they get very like annoyed or like very like paranoid at the thought of you like moving on, or you kind of like overcoming something, I do think that with the Nine of Wands, I feel like you're in the midst of actually, or like you're very close to actually being able to let them go, or to like actually like, like break free from this person's grasp that they have on you, it's making me think of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's making me think of like, you know, when like in cartoons or like movies and stuff where like the protagonist is like locked in a cell or something, and like the antagonist is like out doing something, and like the person watching the cage or like the prison is like sleeping, so like the protagonist like sneaks out, you know? So it's like the antagonist comes back and they're like, oh my gosh, like where's the protagonist, you know, like in their cage, I suppose, and they're like, yeah, like they're right here, and they're like, oh, you know, they got away, you know. I feel like that's the kind of vibe that's going on here. I do think that you are in the midst of sneaking away from this person, or you're in the midst of kind of breaking free from this connection and kind of letting things go. And I feel like this person is just taking a lot of time to reflect on what has happened between the two of you, especially in terms of like what has caused the connection to become what it is now. And I also feel like this sun card, like I feel like this person's like low-key delusional. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But with the Nine of Cups too, like I feel like this person sees you as like a wish fulfillment, and I feel like they really do daydream about like being with you and spending more time with you, being around you, honestly. And I also feel like this person, like they think about like, oh, like when are we gonna be together again and stuff like that. I'm also thinking of like FNF, Friday Night Funkin'. If you've ever played that game, it makes me think of like that Sky mod, you know, of like how like she like manifested boyfriend, you know. If you guys like don't know what I'm talking about, I probably sound like a raving lunatic, but basically it's just like, once again, this person like maybe daydreaming about you as a means to manifest you back into that life, or to kind of like energetically lock you in. And I know I'm saying like this, like you are in the midst of breaking away. Like I just want to say like there seems to be like this huge disconnect or like this huge rift in the energies here, because it seems as if though like this person thinks that like they honestly thought they ate, you know, where they're like, oh, like I'm gonna keep you right here, you know, or like you're not going anywhere, you know, like it's gonna be us, like don't worry, you know, like we're gonna be together and all that. But then you're like, girl, I'm literally like unlocking the cell right now, like I'm leaving, I'm sneaking in the middle of the night, I've tied the bed sheets, I already climbed down the window with my makeshift rope, like girl, bye, like my Uber's here, I gotta go, LMAO, had fun, like bye girl. You know, I also feel like this person is definitely like a daydreamer. This person also doesn't seem like they like traveling that much. I don't know. That's just like a random thought. This person is like with the olive branch. They seem to be having a lot of trouble coming to terms with the way that things are, the way that they are now. I feel like they just like obsess over things. You know, pile 4, and I know you know what I'm saying. I'm also gonna pull some more tarot cards just because I really want to like see what else is going on. I haven't done this for any of the other piles, but for you guys, I just like I'm getting nosy. We also have Queen of Cups. We have the Hierophant. Yeah, we got Taurus here. And Ace of Coins. I feel like this person sees like a lot of longevity with you, or they're kind of like, oh my gosh, pile 4. Like you're like, this is so annoying. I feel like they like compare you a lot to people, you know, or I feel like they like think about you a lot in the sense that like I feel like when they meet new people or when they see people, like they immediately compare you to them, or they compare them to you, you know. I also feel like with the Hierophant card, like this person like thinks a lot about like, I don't know, like there's just something about it that makes me feel like it's giving like you still work with your ex, or you still live with your ex, you know. And not to say like that's what you guys are going through, but like something of the same shade, you know, of like you're forced into a situation with this person, or it feels as if though like you can't get away with them, or like you can't get away from them, which like I said, you're in the midst of getting away from them, but you know, it's like a process. And with the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Coins, I do think that this person, like, they think about you in a way that's, like, they see you as, like, this very emotional being, you know? They think that you're very sweet. You're very supportive. I think that the Queen of Cups, like, speaks volumes as to, like, what kind of person you are, especially with the Sun card. They see you as, like, a very healing person, and they think about how much more comfortable and stable that they feel with you simply because you offer so much, you know? And they feel like you're truly a beautiful soul, and they just like they obsess over you, honestly, and they literally can't, they're so codependent of you, pile 4, and they seriously, like, they can't imagine being without you, you know? I don't know, like, I just feel like if I keep going on in this reading, it's just going to be me spiraling, simply because it seems as if though they're just, like, so energetically unstable, and they're so closed off, and I feel like they're very volatile right now, and I think that you know this because you're in the midst of, you know, getting away from them, or breaking free from them, or at least kind of, like, forcing off their grip that they have on you. So I think I'm just going to sum up your reading, pile 4, by saying that, like, whoever this is definitely somebody that you have history with, definitely somebody that you have gone through things with, somebody who could be very smart, or somebody who could be, like, kind of wisdom oriented, but at the same time, like, a little bit pretentious with it, you know, and somebody who really ponders, somebody who greatly ponders before they actually make a move, you know, and somebody who can be maybe a go-getter at times. I do think that they, like, when they're balanced, this person is so much fun. They easily come to terms with things, and they truly are, like, supportive. Like, they are a wall of support. They are receptive. They are sweet. They are possessive in the good ways, in all the ways that count. And they can really, like, cultivate new beginnings from seemingly nothing, you know, and really begin new things and new passion projects that are beautiful and fruitful and abundant in so many different ways. And they can be very fair and diplomatic. But I feel like when out of balance, like they have been as of late, or, you know, whatever the case may be, they can become very mean and manipulative, and very, like it's just like giving, like, grab, you know, like somebody who just, like, really, like, grabs something and doesn't let it go, you know, and it can be pretty energetically violent, you know, and they'll play quite dirty to get what they want, and they can become very mean and very manipulative when they feel like they're vulnerable, or when they feel like there's something, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, they just have a hard time letting go of things, and they have a hard time, like, I feel like they play devil's advocate a lot in order to manipulate people, or in order to break people down, you know. And I just feel like the reason that they're thinking about you is because they know that you're trying to get away, or, like, ugh, it's making me think of that stupid, like, Stan Twitter meme of how, like, Beyonce has Sia locked in her basement, you know? And it's just like, oh, if you guys haven't heard about it, it is so freaking funny, I swear. Like, just go to any Stan Twitter video and, like, you will find it. But, you know, it's just like, this person really wants to, like, cage you in, you know? They really, like, they're a little bit crazy with it. I'm not gonna lie, pile 4. And I'm not gonna sit here and, like, tell you lies or anything. Like, I do think that, like, if you've watched this, like, pile as long as you have, and it has resonated up until this point, I think that you can, like, I think that, like, I feel safe knowing that, like, this person is, in fact, a little bit, like, not a little bit, but very unstable, and they are somebody that, like, tries to, like, deny, or, like, try to, like, slow down, or, like, control, like, the transformations that they go through in their life, because they do go through a lot of transformations and a lot of decompositions in their life, as this entry for the Lattice of the Soul mentioned. But it's clear that, like, sometimes they can be in denial about it, or try to sway in a specific direction, and that's where trouble ensues, because these things are meant to be timed out in a specific way with divine timing. But I feel like their failure to kind of conform to that, or their failure to kind of release their control, has caused them to run into a lot of problems in the past and up until now, honestly. And because of that, it just, like, it causes them to be even more controlling and even more freaked out, you know, to where their grip on certain things in their life tighten even more, despite the fact that their grip on it, their hold on it, was already really tight, you know. And I feel like they can be an energetic vampire. And the reason that they're thinking about you, or what they're thinking about you, is how badly they want you, or, like, how they seem to be projecting all of these things onto you, you know. Like, they just, like, it's not even about you to a certain point, you know, to where they're like, I'm gonna, like, so, like, for example, like, they feel like their life isn't moving as quick as they want in their career, so because of that, they try to rush their relationship with you, or they try to rush, you know, they run up on you, and they want things to be the way that they were back in the day, you know. And it's just, like, all of that, and they think of you as, like, a very emotionally supportive person, and they're very codependent of you, because they can't imagine their life without your support, you know. I feel like you get a lot of that from them. Maybe you've gotten a lot from them, you know, like, I don't know what I would do without you, and things of that nature, you know. I just feel like this person is very emotionally and very energetically volatile right now, and they are definitely in the midst of daydreaming about you and trying to manifest you back, or to try and kind of like lock you down, if you know what I mean. But I don't think that they're doing a very good job of it, simply because their energy is so unstable. It's making me think of like, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but there's this episode of Fairy Tail, if you've ever seen that anime, where like Leon's like his ice creature wasn't like working, or it was very weak because he was always doing one hand spell, and it's because like it will fail you whenever you need it the most, you know. And I feel like that's what's going on with this person, you know. They are tunnel visioning and hyperfixating so much to a point where they just like, they're unable to manifest something to the fullest extent, you know. And I feel like even then, like, you're just too powerful for this person. I'm just gonna say it like blatantly. But yeah, this person is definitely thinking about the good times with you, and they're thinking about like, their insecurity is making them think about what it would be like to be without you, you know. And they're really thinking about just like keeping you all to themselves and gatekeeping you. They won't be able to though. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if it did, like, please don't like kill me. I'm just the messenger, guys. Please, I'm just the mailman. So yeah, and if you like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye.